All right, guys, it is now Sunday,
October
the 11th.
Yes, that sounds right.
It's the 11th. Welcome to the Stream Void Podcast, episode 9.
Yes. Episode 9. Yes, 9.
Wow. Wasn't it just like episode 8 last week?
It was.
That's crazy.
I know, it is crazy.
We've got not a whole lot of news this week, but we got some tidbits to talk about, some old news, some new news.
Some old news for sure. A big one that I missed last time.
Huge miss. Huge swing and a miss.
Huge fail. Big time F.
But that's okay. We'll talk about that this week.
Yep.
And speaking of week,
yes.
How was your week?
How was my week? Oh, it was pretty fine. Just had work and whatever, and the usual. Kick out a couple crackies for stealing, and it was pretty boring. Nothing crazy. Well, there's going to be a curse word in this one here, but I was eyeing up this one cracky, and she had a thing of like our dollar store like Oreos basically that we sell, and I could see her. Yeah, real tasty. She was carrying them, and she has this giant purse, and I see her down the aisle, and I sort of duck around the corner as she's coming down the aisle, and I hear like crinkle crinkle, and then I stick my head around the corner, and the cookies are gone. So I was like, I just stepped out in the aisle and I was like, that was pretty fucked up. And she's like, what? And I'm like, that thing you did, that was pretty fucked up. And she's like, huh? And I'm like, just take them out of your purse. And she's like, oh, okay. And she gives them to me. And I was like, what else did you steal? She's like, nothing. I'm like, show me inside your purse. So she shows me. It's like a typical crackhead's purse. Like there's like whatever, naloxone kit in there and whatever. So I was like, okay. And then she's like, yes, I'm just looking. And I'm like, what? You're not looking for anything. You're leaving the store now. Like she thought she was going to keep shopping. So I kicked her out. And but the thing is like, what I didn't know is when I went to bust her, she was down the one aisle, and then the aisle to the left, there was this little old lady. So when I went around the corner and was like, that was pretty fucked up, the old lady's like, excuse me? So yeah, that was
you got busted too.
I did get
busted and you got busted.
But she came around and saw what was going on, so she was okay with it. But
okay,
I just
with a little vulgarity.
Yeah, when I stepped around the corner, I don't know if she thought I was saying it to her or what, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
It could be.
And then I caught another guy who just slipped this crappy pair of pliers up his shirt. And I just went around the corner and I was like, take it out of your shirt. And he just was like, all right. Took it out and I was like, time to leave. And then he's leaving and I'm like, you're not allowed to come back here. And he's like, whatever. So it was pretty fun that way. So other than that, it was a regular old news week.
That's a cracky that knows the drill.
Oh, he was a definite cracky too.
He knows the drill. It's like,
yeah.
Well, guess I'm never coming back here again.
Exactly. Well, he'll try eventually. They all do,
yeah.
but
they always forget.
In a year or two.
Like
actually, that was the third guy I kicked out. I think this was this week. There was this one guy that tried to steal shoes a long time ago. And he's like one of my coworkers, like her son was friends with him when he was a kid. So she's like, I don't want to do it. And I was like, okay, fine. He came back and I knew his name. I don't want to say his name. You'll be able to figure it out if I do this. Maybe. Some people will. Anyways, I knew his name, so I went up to the till because he was trying to buy a lighter. I'm like, Sanderson. And he looked at me like, how does this guy know my name? I was like, Sanderson, right? And he's like, look at me some more. I'm like, Sanderson? He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, it's you. You're not allowed here. You got to go. And he's like, why? As they always do. Why? I don't get it. I'm like, well, because you tried to steal those shoes, so you're not allowed in here. He's like, that was so long ago. And I was like, dude, it was like 2 months ago. And then he called me a goof. So that's not a good thing to be called by a cracky. That means something else to like criminals compared to normal people. I'm not going to get into what goof is, but
it also means something different in the wire pulling world as well.
Oh, does it? Is it like a tool or something like that?
No, it's a loop, a goof loop.
Oh,
it's just like one little.
Oh
loop.
my god, that probably goes into what goof is in the prisons. Then I'm going to get into it. Then a goof is what they call a child molester in prison. So a goof loop would be something you string a goof up with. Wow. Oh my god. We're learning so much
We
here.
are learning stuff.
But other than that, my work week was pretty boring. But you had an interesting work week.
Oh, yeah, I had a terrible work week.
Again?
Again.
Another one?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
God.
working out of town, since my right shoulder's all effed up with the old tendonitis, which I don't have physio until the 19th.
Too much stroke in it, I guess.
So I've been using my left hand more to do cable stripping and stuff like that.
Called the Stranger.
Called the Stranger. Yes, it's definitely the Stranger. So the cable we strip, it has this very thin aluminum metal sheathing inside, which is razor sharp when you crack it open. And so I normally you give it the old twist and the old pull to get it off of there.
As you do.
And my hand slipped.
Hate when that happens.
Just right through this finger, and my pointer, my middle, and my ring. And it just went so deep on the ring. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. So, when you cut yourself real deep, I don't know, whoever's cut themselves real deep, you can see like the fat in your finger. You're like, yeah, that doesn't look good at all. Deep. So we're training a guy on this, we're training 2 guys now because we need it, because there's too much work, because now we're doing mandatory overtime this week.
Sounds like
Saturdays.
You work for CD Projekt Red.
Crunch time. It is definitely crunch time, guys. Yeah. So he bandages me up and he's like, yeah, you should probably go to the hospital. So I'm like, oh, good. Go to the hospital during COVID time? That's exactly what I want. So we're working at least half an hour away from the hospital. He drives me there.
Blood everywhere, I'm sure.
No, it wasn't bleeding that bad by that
say
time.
yes.
I had staunched the bleeding.
Oh, okay. I was picturing at the back of the car at the start of Reservoir Dogs. Just blood everywhere.
No, my hand was like this the entire time.
Up in the air,
Got the pressure on it. So we get to the hospital, and there's the waiting room has been sectioned off into 3 areas. So it's waiting area 1, waiting area 2, waiting area 3. So I go to the front, and they're like, do you need to see a doctor? I'm like, yes. They're like, do you have any of these COVID symptoms? I'm like, no.
No, I don't.
Okay, and then they're like, okay, go to waiting area 1. So I go to waiting area 1, and I'm waiting there for the triage nurse. Go inside, get triaged, and she's like, okay, go wait in waiting area 2. And so I'm like, okay. So I wait in waiting area 2, and then the receptionist comes up, and she's like, she calls me out. She's behind like super plexiglass, like can't hear anything she's saying, and she's grumpy as AF.
Nice.
And so I go up to her, and we get all registered. She's like, why are you here in this city? I'm like, I'm working. She's like, okay, how long are you working for? All this stuff. Yeah. He's like, here's your work safe stuff you're going to have to fill out because and nothing is covered if you get injured at work. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay, you see over there? Go over there to waiting area 3. And so I go over to waiting area 3. I mean, she's like really hard to understand. She's super grumpy. So I'm like sitting there in waiting area 3. And then I look to my left, and there's a door labeled emergency room 3. And I've been sitting in this waiting area 3 for like half an hour, and I go up to her and I'm like, hey, am I supposed to go over to there? And she's like, yes, you're supposed to go over there. Through the green doors. That's what I said. Like, oh my God.
That's not what you said, you bag.
So I go in there, and it's like 5 minutes. I'm already on the bed.
Fuck.
And then the doc's like, yep, you need stitches.
Nice.
And so what they do is they take a needle and they jam it into the base of your finger twice, and that hurt way more than getting cut. That hurts so much, and you like feel the cooling going in.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
I can't believe that hurts so much.
He must have done a bad job then, because when I had get stitches in my pinky finger, they numbed it there, and I didn't.
Oh yeah, there was no topical numbing. He just went straight.
He didn't
in with
do
the
that
needle.
either. No.
So you can kind of see the 2 holes in my finger there.
This is the injection marks.
Yeah.
If the police stop you, they'll be like, "What's this, son?"
And after that, couldn't feel anything. It's very painless. He stitched me up. We talked about podcasting because he has his own podcast.
Oh, very good.
A doctor podcast.
Oh, interesting. I'd like to hear that, I think. Yeah. Did you get his info? Or?
I did not get his info. It was kind of, emergency room, get in, get out.
Oh, darn it. Like that would have been interesting.
I know. I should look for it, though, because he's based out of the big city.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be easy to find.
Maybe.
It's got a guy from the big city and a guy from, like, back east.
Okay, interesting.
And they're doing it online.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, I was like, yeah, that's kind of awkward to do.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd like to check that out. When they numbed your finger, did the blood just start squirting out of it again?
No,
eh?
No.
Crazy.
No, it was pretty good. They were like, hey, wash your hands. get it all nice and clean. I'm like, sweet. That's exactly what I want to do
Exactly.
right now.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and I got a tetanus shot.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I had a similar, well, not similar. It's where I got a giant staple in my finger at work, so it tore my hand, and I had to get stitches. And when I went to the hospital, this was a couple of years ago. I didn't get a tetanus shot because I'd had one within 10 years, so I was good that way. But I don't know if when I got mine, buddy comes into the emergency room. He's like, "Oh, you really did a good one there," or whatever, right? I'm like, "Yep." And then his like other doctor cohort came like wandering in the room and like looked over his shoulder and be like, "Oh, you have some actual work to do today." Because I'm feeling they get a lot of people that go to emergency that it shouldn't be an emergency.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it was this guy when he was doing he had just come on to shift. So he sits down and he grabs the needle and he's just like, "All right, let's do this." And I was like, "Well, are you gonna freeze it?" He's like, "Oh yeah." So he wasn't gonna freeze it. He was just gonna get to work. He's like, "You're my first guy today. I actually have something to do, so whatever." So I'm like, "Okay." So he's like, gets the needle, does it, doesn't hurt. He's like, "Well, we'll give it 10 minutes or whatever to freeze." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh, my finger, I can't feel it." And I had it facing, like, pressing downwards onto the little tray in the, like, gauze to, if it was bleeding. And I'm like, "Oh, I can't feel it. I can't feel it. I wonder what it looks like." And I lifted my hand up, and blood squirted out of it like a foot.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, my gosh." So I turned it face down, and he comes back. I'm like, when I moved it, blood came out of it. He's like, "Oh, yeah, like, that'll happen. When you freeze it, the muscle sort of relaxes, right?" And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Well, let's stitch it up." And I turn it, and it was like, squirts out again. He's like, "Oh!" It really did come out of there. So it wasn't bad. He stitched it up and sent me on my way, but it was just crazy. Like, it was like in a movie. Like, a geyser of blood came out of it, and it was like, exactly. It was crazy. It was crazy. The one thing I'll say, have you ever had stitches in your hand before?
No, this is the first time I've ever gotten stitches.
Oh, period.
Period,
wow.
Yeah.
When you, in a week or two's time, it's going to be so effing tight. And you're going to be like, "I have to take these stitches out. I have to." I was supposed to leave mine in for like 3 weeks. And by like the second week, I was like, "Oh my God, I have to remove these." And I couldn't do it because maybe it was in my right hand. I can't even remember. No, it was because I couldn't do it. I had to get my friend to do it because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't didn't have the dexterity to do it. But so
I was supposed to keep these in for a week and then go to like a walk-in and have them taken out.
No, I couldn't do it. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I'm watching a hockey game. I'm like, "Can you please just... Can you please do this?" It was our mutual friend Amanda. She did it. And I was like, "Mom, please." Please. So it was brutal stuff, but
that's crazy.
Hopefully it doesn't do that to you, because that was not fun.
Well, yeah, they said just a week, but I'm going to be at work 30 minutes from anything, so I might have to wait till the weekend.
Did they use wire, or did they use...
It feels like it's a plastic poly string.
Yeah. I think that's more so what they do. These ones I had were like plastic as well, but
and it's like right on the inside of my hand, right where I'm supposed to be gripping things.
Yeah, that makes it tough.
Oh yeah,
mine was on the outside, and it was crazy. I remember when I was at work, it was just like I couldn't wear anything on it. It was just so painful. And I remember I was at work, and they're like, "Why don't you cover that up?" Like, I'm like, "I can't cover it up." I'm just like, "I won't use the hand, okay? Like, get off my case." So, anyways,
yeah, and well, it's gonna be good for next week. We got an Airbnb, and because it's in this, we're working in this little lakeside resort.
Wow.
Lakeside resort.
Okay.
And it's like the hoity-toity lakeside resort.
Oh, nice.
And like Airbnbs there are starting at $300
a day,
a night.
Oh yeah,
and up from there. And so the guys stayed there this week, and for like a bunch of money.
Yeah,
they crammed 8 of them in there.
Yeah,
it was awful. Apparently,
yeah, no kidding. Hotel,
so the lady calls the guy up who booked it, and she's like, "Hey, you guys want to stay here again? I'll give you a sweet deal."
Oh yeah.
And so we're paying $250 each for 4 of us for 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
for 4 of you.
Yeah, for 4 of us.
That's a lot better than 8.
Oh yeah, that's $1,000 for 2 weeks.
That's not bad
in a resort.
Not bad.
Although all of the amenities are closed, there is a a pickleball court, tennis ball.
Yeah.
They had a swimming pool. They got a mini golf course.
But all that stuff's closed?
All that stuff's going to be closed.
That sucks, but...
I know. And the closest grocery store is like half an hour away, too.
But at least you have a kitchen and stuff. You can just...
Oh, yeah. And there's like, I guess there's pretty good internet there. So I'll
nice.
probably
Maybe
be able to stream the entire week.
Nice.
Do some fun stuff.
Cool. That's all right.
Working off a single PC setup, you know.
Oh, pleb style.
Pleb style.
Jamming that F5 button, trying to get the...
Yeah, trying to get that 3080.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. Friday, I was like smashing F5 on Newegg and Best Buy, looking for that fresh hot drop of 3080s.
3080.
RTX 3080, the video card.
That's what I need.
For those who don't know. And it's like 4 o'clock. I go upstairs, get some dinner, because, you know, you got to get early dinner before you stream.
Yep.
I come back down. I smash F5. Stock. It's in stock.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, add to cart. Gone.
Yep. Gotta be faster on the draw, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. You'll get one eventually.
Yep. Our mutual friend, Aaron,
yeah.
he has one. It's going to be here on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see League of Legends on that.
All right. He's going to be getting 300 frames a second.
Exactly. No kidding, eh? Wow.
And he's got the Ryzen 9 coming as well.
What a guy. It's just crazy.
I know.
Oh, well, that's okay. It'll be interesting to see how his streams look after this for sure. Well, right on.
Well, I think it's a problem with Facebook. It's just Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook compression kind of is not good.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we can't make it through one podcast without shitting on Facebook a little bit, so why not right now? Yeah, the streaming compression really blows on Facebook, I gotta say. They really, for a company that's got that much money, they really need to step up their compression game.
I think I think you can get a lot more bits on Facebook too. Like you can output way more bits.
Yeah, maybe, but like, I mean, when I did my test stream on Facebook, it's 6,000. Same as Twitch, like same everything. It looked like just bad as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know on Facebook or on YouTube you can go up to like 40,000 bit rate or whatever.
Yeah, apparently I was
streaming 4K.
I was reading about the one. I don't know if it was the Linus Tech Tips video or whatever, where they were going to upload an 8K video and it was like 8K graphics. I can't remember what it was, but then like YouTube didn't actually do that video at 8K, even though they uploaded it at 8K. It just was only available up to 4K, and they were like, "We've reached out to YouTube. Hopefully, they'll let us do it."
Yeah, I don't think 8K is a thing on YouTube yet.
No, apparently it is. They'll let you do it for specific things, and they had said they contacted them, and they were like, "Yeah, no problem." And then when it was time, it was like, "Yeah, problem."
Like 0.5% of the population is going to watch that in 8K.
Can you even like? Well, how big of a screen would you need to have it so you could even tell the difference?
Probably pretty big.
Yeah, it's crazy. At what point are the like? I don't know. At 1080p, I was like, "Oh, it looks pretty good."
Yeah, I know. It's funny watching everyone's like, "Oh, check out this 8K gaming experience."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll watch that in 720p in my hotel. That's
exactly. Cool. Like, what is it? Anyways, I don't know.
Look at all those pixels.
Yeah, look how pixelated
pixel
it is.
Density.
Well, anyway, speaking of the pixel density. You play any games this week, my dude?
I played some. When I was in the hotel, I played some Star Renegades.
Star Renegades?
I have to look at my desktop. It's right there. I can see the icon.
Very good.
Man, that game is still so awesome, and it's still so stressful.
Yes. You did a couple Patreon-only streams with that, I think, this week?
Yes, I did. I got to like the 3rd planet on this run, and then the end boss just absolutely murked me. I'm like, what? How do you even
just get good at it? It's easy.
So there's when you have shields, you have health, and you have armor.
Yes.
And armor prevents health damage.
Mm-hmm.
So this boss had 119 armor, and none of my basic attacks can even come close to 119. I have to do like extra special attacks to even go over 100
Is there
damage.
any way to strip armor?
You can. There are special attacks that can strip armor, but it's like 5 at a time.
Oh, wow. You need to get good.
I know. He absolutely destroyed me. I'm
That's
like,
crazy. That's not good.
How do I even?
Yeah, it looks like a fun game, though. Graphic style is amazing.
Oh, yeah. The graphics on that are so on point. And it's just, they play into the trope of JRPG for sure. Like with all the dialogue and everything like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The JRPG tropes.
Yep. No, it looks good.
It is, yeah. It is. And I played some Apex on Friday after the DJ stream.
Crossplay?
Crossplay, yeah.
How did the crossplay go?
It went really well. You could tell, like when I was dead and spectating my crossplay partner, who he was playing on Xbox, you could see how good the aim assist worked on console.
It was really good?
Oh, yeah. Because you just get the, what's that heavy burst gun that you get the thing?
Hemlock?
Yeah, not the Hemlock. The submachine gun.
What's
the hell is it called?
There's the alternator and
the heavy submachine gun.
I can't think of it.
I can't even think of it now either. And I play Apex all the time.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I leave that gun straight on the ground because I'm like, I can't shoot that thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get the hop up. It makes it full automatic, and with aim assist, it just you just destroy kids with it. It's hilarious.
Nice. I might have to try it on the old console and see. The only problem is not cross progression.
No,
and I got everything on PC, so
that's too bad.
Like,
well,
I don't really.
My
want
Origin account is tied to my PlayStation.
Yeah,
I log into Origin with my PlayStation.
Well, maybe I might have to just download it and see how it goes.
Yeah, or even try just with a controller on PC.
Oh yeah, I guess you could do that, right?
Yeah, a couple of the Predator pros play like that.
It sounds terrible, though.
It does.
I mean, I guess my aim couldn't be any worse with a controller than it is with most keyboards. So,
I mean, I like doing a bunch of 360s when I drop off things because you don't lose any momentum.
What was I going to say? Oh, and then on the Saturday night, we played some games.
We did play some games. We played Tracks.
The train
track simulator game
with wooden train tracks and
trains. When I was growing up, I always wanted one of these things. Kids that had them, I was like, so good.
Yep.
And we were playing the game.
Yes.
Just building the most ridiculous things.
Yes.
And I think I crashed the game twice.
Just from the Spasmo controllers, I think. Just hitting all the buttons at once. Xbox doesn't know how to handle it.
That game especially didn't know how to handle it.
I like how it said it would do 8K or 4K visuals, and when we
4K30.
We were doing 1080p, and it was just like chugging along sometimes.
Well, I did add like 20 carts to the track.
Yes, that was probably not.
It just didn't like it.
It definitely didn't like it.
I got a rare achievement though.
Yeah, for breaking my Xbox, you sure did. It was interesting to watch anyways. I didn't play any of it, but it was fun to watch it anyways and see what kind of crazy stuff you could do.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be nice if you could like change the speed of the train more and stuff like that.
I think it'd be way better on PC than it is on console.
When we were playing it, one of the people watching the chat said that it looked like it was easier to play with a controller because you were laying track way faster than he could with the mouse and keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's hard to say. Yeah. Maybe a combo. I don't know. And then what did we play after that?
Goose Terrorizing Simulator.
Oh, yeah. Untitled Goose Game. But when you play it as 2 players, it's called Untitled Geese Game. That was the first time I played that one. That was pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, I'd seen a couple videos on it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just the one from Donkey.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, super fun.
It was interesting to figure out how to combo attack these guys to do, like, we got to drop a bucket on this guy's head. Like, yo, what do we got to do? It's like, oh, yeah, we put all these tomatoes on the ground. He'll try to pick it up and put it away, and then, boop, the bucket goes on his head. I don't know. What was my favorite thing to do there? Probably to get the woman to cut the rose down by accident.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I like that one.
And then the old man to
break the vase. Yeah, that was good, too, because it was like, finally, we figured out what we got to do with that one.
My favorite was tripping the little kid,
knocking his
glasses off, and then stealing his glasses.
That's so rude.
And then bringing him back and terrorizing him enough that he ran away in the phone booth.
Exactly. We were like just psychopathic geese for sure.
Oh, yeah. That kind of game's done really well.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Revisit that one and polish it off one time for sure.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close.
Yeah. I don't know. We only played it for like an hour and a half.
I was like, yeah, that's true.
So who knows how long it is, but there's still lots of stuff. We saw that one little bassinet with the coin. And there's no one around it and everything, so who knows? And then after that, we tried Xeno Crisis, which is an 8-way shooter with awesome graphics, but it's great twin stick shooter. But they really, I know that what the aesthetic they were going for was the 8-directional shooter like that. But like they needed to just make it any direction.
Oh yeah.
Then it would have been way
felt
better.
super awkward.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot because you like think you're pressing like
Yeah.
you got to press directly in the direction you want to shoot.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it doesn't change direction.
And then it's like you don't have unlimited ammo, and you have to pick up these ammo boxes, which is just a way to artificially make it tougher. And it was pretty tough as it was.
Oh, yeah.
We died a lot. And it's just like, just give us unlimited ammo. Let us fire in every direction. Let's have a good time.
3 continues.
Yep.
And I wasn't entirely sure how the res system worked. Because there were sometimes you could just resurrect right away, your buddy right away, and then other times you had to like wait 30 seconds before you could do it.
It was weird. Well, I think if you
worked.
finished the level, the guy came back automatically. Or not the level, but the like segment of the level. And we only played that one for like 20 minutes. And then it was
I was not into it.
It was on to, man, Double Dragon Neon. Man, this game surprised me.
Yeah, I was like, when it first loaded up, I was like, oh god, this is just going to be HD remake, and it's going to be like not that great.
No way, man. It was like a new game. Interesting graphics. That was probably not my favorite part, was like the 3D models and everything.
Yeah.
But like the whole leveling up of your abilities by finding tapes and...
Yeah, so we're playing along, and I'm like, okay, this is just standard beat 'em up.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that great. It kind of feels a little bit clunky, and then some like cassette tape drops.
Yeah.
Reel-to-reel cassette tape. It's like, oh, hey, you have a new ability. And we're like, what?
Yes.
What's going on?
Exactly. Or new fighting style.
New fighting style. So you check your stats here, and it's like, oh, there's like 8 different fighting styles. Yep. There's 8 different super abilities you can get. There's
you can
all
mix and
kinds
match
of
them.
Yeah, and you can mix and match and level them up to a level of like 10 if you get
10,
different duplicate tapes.
Yeah.
And then there's like tape vendors and secret holes in the wall, and you like go in there and level your
bit
stuff
of a River
up.
City Ransom vibe that way.
And let me tell you, River City Ransom, that's a great game.
Exactly. So yeah, this was fun, and then the music was, I guess they were going for that hot 80s aesthetic.
Oh yeah, it was on point for sure.
So I was vibing to the soundtrack. I never tried this game because all these people that reviewed it and talked about it on other podcasts would be like, this game's not good, don't try it, just whatever. And I was like, okay. And then it was free on Games with Gold or whatever, so I was like, I'll just buy it, whatever, it's free. And it was like, well, let's just try it, we're here. And then it was like, damn, I should have been playing this like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
It's pretty good.
I definitely want to keep going with that one for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the high five system. You can high five each other, and it does different things. You can split your health or like do a psych him out so he misses.
Oh yeah, so the right analog stick you have to press in the same direction as your buddy in order to do the high five properly.
Exactly.
And so if you don't, you do a psych.
Yeah.
Psych.
Well, even I think both down is psych.
Yeah.
I think it was down will psych no matter what. But yeah, it was fun. I would recommend it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Check it out, and I think we'll revisit that on another Couch Dudes stream for sure.
Definitely.
And the only other game that I've been playing this week was some Minecraft. Yep, restarted the supporter server, and we had some different rules on it this time. The world border is only 2,000 blocks out, so people can't spread out that much. We're building like spawn shops, and I put in a couple of the data packs from Hermitcraft. So there's
that's why you got mob heads.
And mini blocks. So yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, you know what you should put in
What's
is
that?
Construction blocks.
Construction blocks?
Because with construction blocks, you can put in angled pieces.
Oh, interesting.
You can put in like half angled pieces, and it's like I think it works with chisel.
I'll have to look into that maybe for the next next reset on it.
And maybe chisel.
Maybe
chisel.
No,
they have chisel with it now, don't they? Like a version of chisel?
What, in Minecraft?
Yeah.
No.
So chisel, you build yourself a chisel, and each block has like 16 different patterns you can chisel onto it.
No, like different designs?
Yeah.
No, they
designs.
don't. No, nothing like that. So, but we'll have some more Minecraft old news for everybody later. I forgot to talk about the 1.17 update thing last time. So we're going to talk about that.
I think that was our guest host that came in.
Well, it was like
Distraction City.
Well, no, it wasn't that. I think I would have forgot anyways because I didn't put it on the overview or like the outline, and I was just like, well, it's too big. I'm not going to forget about it. Like I don't need to put it on there. I'm going to remember. And then it was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. So I got to talk about that later. But I think that covers our weeks, basically. Besides, like, I finished watching The Boys, Season 2. And
we're on we just finished episode 4 of season 2.
Okay, there's only 2 or 3 left, so you're almost there.
It's like,
so good. I know, it's so good. And I started watching The Haunting of Bly House on Netflix, and that's good.
Oh.
So, yeah. It's
a little horror.
So far, it's as good as the first season, I think. So, I don't know. Did you watch the first season?
No.
Oh, man. The Haunting of Hill House?
Haunting of Hill House. Yeah, that's
so good. Except there's one episode that has some of the worst acting I've ever seen. If you watch it, you'll know. You'll get to that point and be like, yeah, that's what he was talking about. It's so bad.
We got some bad acting to talk about later in Weebus Plebus for sure.
Oh, God, we sure do. Well, why don't we take a break and then we'll get on to the news.
Yes, sounds good.
All right.
I'm a quiet guy. I just get so excited that Energizer really is the longest lasting battery. I can't help myself. It'll surprise you! Buy Energizer batteries and I can go back to being shy and retiring.
All right, we're back. You guys should definitely go check out whoever that was in our advertisement there.
Oh, yeah.
Use our code, whatever it is.
Yep.
Just go ahead.
Do we have to record a fake advertisement now?
I was thinking about doing that, actually. Doing some fake ad reads.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I'll try that this week.
Smucker's Strawberry Preserves.
It'll be for a totally made-up product, though.
Oh, okay.
That way people can be like, oh, these guys do some good ad reads.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
I like it. I like it, too.
Let's get into the news.
News, I've heard of it. What's the first news?
We're going to talk about, the standard thing. Go for hardware first.
Okay.
We got a good list of hardware going on here.
Okay.
So, MSI, of course, a graphics card and chip not a chip manufacturer, but just a general PC manufacturer doing graphics cards. They do motherboards and stuff like that. Somebody caught them scalping 3080s and 3090s on eBay at crazy prices.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, not MSI. I love MSI.
That's my graphics card is an MSI.
Yeah, everything in all of my computers is MSI.
Yep.
Except for my 1080.
Exactly. So, but the thing is they have an authorized reseller.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be for only refurbished stuff, I think.
Yeah, refurbished and old stuff.
And MSI says that unintentionally they were able to draw from their regular stock for the 3080s and 3090s, and they were putting them on eBay that way, and they weren't supposed to be able to, which, I mean, is believable, I guess.
It's definitely believable, and, if you were that company, you'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
if I got access to this, I'm definitely putting it on here for stupid prices.
Exactly. So, MSI said that they're going to... You can either keep the card and get a refund, or send it back and get the full refund. So you can get the difference.
Yeah, you can get the difference refunded.
Or... So, man, these guys that bought these cards through this company, that's like the jackpot.
Oh, yeah.
Because they got the card and they're getting their money back.
Yep.
So it's
they're
like
getting their
total win
back
for them.
Well, it's 100% a win.
So I can believe that this was an error.
Oh, yeah, for
People
sure.
are looking at it like it was intentional and the only reason they're doing it is because they got caught, but...
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. So I think MSI is probably making enough money on these cards as it is, so they don't need to worry too much about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, and this sort of reminds me of the story I forgot to put in here, too, about Apple when their Canadian recycler was selling the...
Oh, yeah, I was going to put that in here, too.
Selling their, iPhones and iPads rather than recycling them, and there was, I can't remember what they said, 80,000 of the items, or, things that should have been recycled had been, logged back into Apple since then.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, we didn't know. The owners of the company were like, oh, we didn't know this was happening. Someone was stealing them. And it's they stole 80,000. You didn't have 80,000 recycled batteries. You were like, hey, where did those batteries go? Where did all those screens go?
They're probably recycling hundreds of thousands of units.
Yeah, but it's their Canadian recycler. It's not that many.
That's true.
It's not that many. So they were definitely new, and they were just they'll never know. Well, why would you think Apple would know, you idiots?
Yeah, right?
God, how greedy can you be?
That's the thing. It's the 3 R's. The first one is reduce. That's the first one you're supposed to do. The next one is reuse, which is what they're doing. And then the final step, if you can't do both of those, you're supposed to recycle.
But I don't think they were being paid to reduce or reuse. They were being paid to recycle.
They definitely were.
iTunes or Apple's already decided these are recycles. Maybe they're not salvageable. It's probably just they got iPad 1s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just no one wants these. Well, they do want them, obviously. They were selling them. But it's just why would you think you could get that get away with it with Apple? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, Apple is literally the worst to try and do that to.
Oh my god, exactly.
They're so protective over their IP and their equipment. It's
Yep, exactly. It's I don't know if I'd ever want to work for them guys. It sounds like a terrible place to work at.
It does sound like a terrible place. Even like with all the like trying to third-party repair people trying to get parts, and they're like, yeah, we're not allowed to actually give you this
You
part.
hear all these stories about Steve Jobs, who you weren't allowed to like be in the elevator with him, and just all this stuff. And it's like people like deify him as he's some great business guy, but he was like a psychopath. God, imagine he was your boss and you couldn't get in the elevator with your boss.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Could you imagine?
Have you seen or heard of Louis Redman?
Louis Redman?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it's Redman. But he's in New York, and he's a huge proponent of the right to repair, which is the right to
I
fix
think
your own
I've seen
stuff.
him on
And
YouTube.
He's like, he gets all these people coming in and like, oh, well, Apple said they were going to have to replace the entire inside. It's going to be like $1,000 job, and he goes in, he's like, done.
Yeah, exactly.
Just puts the cord back in, and you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Charge? No, it's free. Get out of here.
It's like they already made money on the iPhone, and then they have to like gouge you on the repair and everything, or sell you $1,000 monitor stand. It's crazy.
The ridiculousness of the high-end stuff that people will buy.
It's almost like it's a cult over there.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Cult of employees, cult of personality, and cult of consumers. I mean, liking Apple's not a personality. Anyways, let's move on. We'll talk about more Apple later, I guess.
Did you watch this video? Sony PS5 teardown by Sony themselves?
I did not. I saw the screenshots, but I didn't watch the video.
It's pretty interesting how easy it is to get into that thing.
Well, you have to be able to get into it if you want to put in a new hard drive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
you just slide, like no tools.
Yeah.
Just slide the cover off, the white, like one of the white pieces. Just slide it
It's
off.
it's like it's a computer.
Yeah, and then you just you take one screw out that covers the NVMe expansion part.
Yep.
And just plug it in. Good to go.
It seemed like there's a lot of empty space inside that thing.
It does. I think it's mainly for airflow because they have like, you know those fans you have in your bathroom that are above there to suck out all the air? Well, I got one of those fans in there, but it's apparently ultra quiet.
Yeah, it's crazy how quiet these are. Apparently, that's the one big takeaway is they're like even quieter than the Xbox One X, and I can't even hear that thing when it's on. So, yeah, it was it looked like a lot of space. Even the little,
a lot of space.
I don't know what you call it in that thing, but like the motherboard was like pretty small compared to the interior. So, but man, that thing's
definitely.
so friggin' ugly. God.
God.
But I guess if you can just take it right out of the case, you could put it in whatever you wanted.
Yeah, you could.
Just put it in a computer tower or something.
Mm-hmm. Although they've got some kind of liquid metal cooling on there.
I saw that.
I don't know how.
Don't puncture that.
Don't puncture that. Yeah, definitely not.
Don't drink the illegal fluid.
But they've also got these dust catch basins that somehow when the air flows through, it deposits the dust into these little holes, and then you just stick your vacuum in there and suck it out.
Yeah.
And it's like supposed to be fairly
that's
dust free.
Pretty much all computer towers now, isn't it?
I don't think so. I mean, most computer towers have a screen over the fans that'll catch the dust.
Like my tower has a removable screen at the bottom.
Yeah, mine
underneath that I can just take out and slurp it up.
Mine doesn't. Not that one anyway.
Well, that one you couldn't fit one in there.
No, definitely not.
We're looking at his this is like an oversized Xbox, the Xbox Series X right there, the vertical tower, it's like a square.
I love the vertical tower. Although I built it to travel with, but I need to build something smaller. It's just it's too big.
That sounds like an excuse to make another computer.
Yeah, I don't know if I need an excuse to make another one.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's an interesting thing for sure. I'll get a PS5 eventually. Maybe when they do a redesign. It's just my
PS5
God.
Slim.
The PS5 non-ugly edition. Oh my God,
Yeah,
so
wonder
bad.
what the PS5 Slim will look like, because it's coming.
It'll look a lot nicer than that thing. Think how small the PS4 Slim was compared to the PS5. Oh no, wait, yeah, it was a lot smaller.
It took a layer off.
The PS4 was the one that was like, yo, let's stack this thing a little higher. The PS4 Pro, I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, let's make it even a little taller. So, I don't know. I think it's so weird that Sony, the hardware company, made the ugliest next-gen console.
I mean, I guess it's in line with the PS3. It's not as ugly as the
George Foreman grill, you mean?
Yeah.
Nasty. But like Microsoft is just a software company.
Yeah.
Sony's the hardware company.
Yeah.
Like what's your problem, Sony? Get with the program. God. Anyways, I know a lot of people like the look of it, but it looks like a boat or something, a sail. I don't know.
It does. It kind of looks like a futuristic sailboat.
It looks like a building they'd build in Abu Dhabi or whatever. Dubai.
Yeah. For
It's
sure.
like some futuristic building. Whatever. Anyways.
Speaking of things that are close to Dubai?
Is Turkey close to Dubai? No, I don't think so.
It's over there.
Turkey's in Europe.
Over there.
Turkey's in Europe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, just cross the pond.
Sure, yeah, that's not true either, but okay.
Turkey, the Xbox Series X in Turkey is ridiculously expensive. There's a new tax policy on gaming hardware.
Weird.
Or I don't know if it's new, it might just be old. But there's a luxury tax, import tax, and sales tax, and the Xbox Series X is going to be over $1,200 American.
Wow. So do you think this is like Turkey like trying to force them to build these in Turkey or something like that?
I don't know.
Like, that's not going to happen. They're not going to build Turkey Xboxes in Turkey.
It's like $800 in tax, $700 in tax.
The luxury tax? I mean, I don't know what the average person's life like is in Turkey. I can't speak to that, but I mean, I guess it's a luxury. But like,
play video games? Hell yeah.
These kind of taxes, a luxury tax, you know, the only people these penalize are poor people.
Oh yeah.
Like, of course, a rich person's gonna be like $800, whatever.
Easy.
That's like with like fines and stuff like that for speeding. That's just like a fee that a rich person pays to speed.
Yeah.
Like, it's not doing anything.
There's a country though that does it proportionally to your income.
Finland or Norway, yeah. You take a percentage, and it's like, oh, you were speeding. That's $100,000. That's the way we should do it over here.
That's
for
definitely
sure.
the way we should do it.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it should be like a base, and then it just goes up from what your income
based
is.
off your filed income tax.
Yeah.
That's how much it should totally be that way. Never going to happen, but it should totally be that way.
Yeah, the money that the government would bring in would be
like $200 for speeding to like a millionaire. It's nothing. That's just the fee you pay to speed.
Yeah.
But like to someone who's like on their way to their job at McDonald's, that's like, well, I can't afford my car insurance now.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Man, we sound like a couple of commies here. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with being a commie/socialist here and there.
Absolutely. If you don't like it,
I hold many socialist views after all.
Absolutely. We should tax the rich.
We should.
Yeah, if it costs $1,200 USD in Canada, like, sorry, Microsoft, I ain't buying one.
Yep, that's true.
Anyways,
it's so ridiculous. Yeah. I wonder what the basic, like, what the average income in Turkey is like.
Probably not very good.
No,
I would think not, but I don't know. I don't know much about Turkey, so I can't really.
Yeah, me neither. No, nothing. Zero things.
Yeah,
I know it's over there.
Exactly.
I know their flag is green and white.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't even know that.
Maybe. Don't quote me on that.
Exactly. Well, speaking of Microsoft and Xbox, segue.
Segue.
The Series X will allow you to delete parts of games to free up space.
Yeah.
This sounds great in theory, but it's not going to work in practice, I don't think. No, this is just going to be like they said, like, oh, yeah, you can start playing the game while it's installing. And then what can you do? You can look at the start menu. You can't do anything.
Start menu. That's amazing.
This is only going to be able to be done if the developers do it.
Yes.
And do you think like a developer is going to spend the extra time to be like, oh, you don't want multiplayer? Let's delete that out of the game.
Well,
First of all,
you did it.
Deleted the multiplayer?
Yeah, you can either install, there's one Call of Duty, or it's either Call of Duty or the other one.
Battlefield,
where you can install the single player or you can install the multiplayer.
Well, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. But like, first of all, why would Activision ever say like, oh, you want to uninstall multiplayer? Yeah, sure. That's where they make all their money.
That's true.
They're never going to let you uninstall the multiplayer there. They maybe will be like, you don't want the single player? Okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. In fact, a few Call of Duties ago, they were like, we don't need single player.
There's no single player whatsoever.
There's no single player. It's only multiplayer.
It's only multiplayer and multiplayer with bots.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
I mean, what can you delete out of the game that you like the way games are made now, they're reusing the assets. It's not like you can delete level 1 because the tree from level 1 is used in level 5. Like, I don't know what you can possibly do with this.
I think it's just multiplayer and single player, and maybe like the first half of the game versus the last half of the game.
Why would any company let you delete multiplayer? That's where they get you with their loot boxes and stuff. They're never going to let you do that.
That's true.
Single player, maybe. I can see them being like, you don't want the single player? Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine, whatever. But even still, it's like the tree from single player that's used in multiplayer. If you need the tree.
Yeah, you still need all the
You
assets.
need the
but
gun.
you don't need any of the voice lines or anything.
Yeah,
like
maybe
that
you
from,
can.
like, the NPCs
Maybe
and
it's
stuff.
like I'm in Canada. I don't need the German voice language lines. Okay, we'll uninstall that. Oh, we save 300 megs. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Big deal. Who cares?
300 megs and voice data packs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see this as a thing that's an option, but they're never going to do it. Like, you can't tell me they couldn't have done this on the 360.
Oh, they definitely could have.
They could have done this
Oh,
on
yeah.
the original Xbox.
But now they weren't even thinking about that because now games are like 100 gigs,
Yeah, that's true.
120 gigs, 150 gigs. Call of Duty,
350 gigs.
350.
I
gigs.
remember
Destiny 2.
you were telling me when we were talking about the Xbox, you can move games from the solid state drive to the external drive. And I was like, that sounds terrible. Like, how long is it going to take? It doesn't take that. I looked, and it takes like 10 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. So I was like, okay, that's okay.
Especially if you're desperate to keep these games uninstalled.
I mean, I usually am.
I
It'll
mean-
take longer to re-download it
Yeah.
than to install it.
And if you have your data capped or something like that,
Yeah, for sure.
10 minutes, that's nothing.
I
You go
gotta-
and make a sandwich, you come back, it's done.
I got to go online, and I got to buy a new external hard drive for that new Xbox when it comes out. And do I need the other internal drive? Oh my god, this is gonna cost me $1,200 USDs by the time I'm done here.
Probably, because they don't, they're making money on that external
Yeah,
hard
they
drive.
sure. Well, the external one is
cartridge
like
one.
whatever, but yeah, the internal one, yes, they're well, they always make money on the accessories. That's
Yes.
where they make money on accessories. Speaking of accessories, Xbox, they have the design lab where you can design your own Xbox controller and like get it engraved and do different colored blah blah blahs on the sticks and whatever. They're shutting it down. I don't know how successful this program was, but they're shutting it down. But they must have a lot of parts left over because they're letting you have $15 off if you design one before they shut it down. So I think I'm going to do this.
I think you should.
I
I
think
went to
I
the
should.
website and I'm like, oh,
I know.
this was a thing?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know it was a thing. Some of the designs you can get on there are
I
pretty
know.
dope.
So you can use this controller on the Xbox Series X when it comes out. The only thing is it won't have there's the new share button on the Series X controller where it lets you automatically take a screenshot or a video by hitting it, much like the share button on the PS5. But you can just do that with the regular menu button by double tapping it. It'll do it. So it's not a big deal. But I was like, man, I should do this. You can get your name engraved on it and stuff.
You should.
I think I'm going to do this.
We all know
And
what color it's going to be.
It's hot pink.
Hot pink for sure.
I'm going to have to do this. I got 3 more days, I think, before they're shutting it down. So I got to go
Hot
on
pink
there.
shell with baby blue sticks.
Ooh la la. I'm going to have to do some designing for sure.
Oh,
but yeah,
for sure.
I've always thought about it, but then I was like, I don't want to wait to get a controller. But then it was like $15 off. Maybe I can do this. And like, maybe they never bring it back. So I think I'll do it. Like, why the hell not? Have the custom controller? Be like, that one is mine. There's none. There's none like it. It's got my name on it. You stole that, you cracky. It's got my name on it.
You definitely should.
So I think I'm going to do it.
Awesome. I wonder how much are they normally to make?
$80, I think. So, but I think it's USD. I think this is going to cost me a little more than I want to spend.
That's
but
probably
I think,
why they're shutting it down.
Yeah.
A little
Well,
bit
I mean,
cost prohibitive to some people.
Like, what if you want? Like, think of all the overhead. It's like I want a left pink trigger and I want a black right
Yeah, right.
trigger
You gotta
and I
carry a
want
lot
the
of stock
blue
in
light
that.
bumper and like. It's like, holy crap, they got to have a lot. So unless they're making that shit on demand, which I doubt. I don't know though. But
yeah, how quickly can they just turn out?
Then again,
one piece of one color.
Then again, how much does a piece of plastic for a right trigger cost? It's probably a nickel.
Yeah.
So,
but then if you're custom doing everything, that adds to the cost because you're doing one-offs.
All these guys in China are just slapping these controllers together. My God, terrible.
Speaking of slap together.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Wow.
GameStop somehow still alive, and now Microsoft is announcing a new strategic partnership.
Yeah. This is like, we got to do something here to stay afloat.
We're going to save GameStop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so you're going to be able to, all the locations are going to be upgraded. They're going to be modernized. And you're going to be able to buy Microsoft hardware in there.
Oh, my God.
So you're going to be able to buy Surfaces and I don't know what this is, the Dynamics 365, whatever the heck that is.
This... Can I buy a Windows phone there? Like...
You might be able to.
You got any Zunes?
I mean,
there?
if they're going to be carrying Microsoft hardware, they're going to be having, like, it's going to be the one, it's probably going to be the one spot to get Xboxes.
Wow.
To pre-order Xboxes anyway, not to just get them, but to like get it down, you can get it out of there. You can go in, take it out with no money down.
No you mean using the
using the financing.
I was like, no, they're still going to sell Xboxes everywhere. It's just like, I mean, I know people got to go sometimes buy the game at the store and everything like that, but like, I don't know, just it seems like, oh yeah, while you're here, you want to buy a Surface tablet too? You want to get the warranty on that Surface tablet? Like, are people clamoring for the Surface tablets?
I don't know.
I mean, I've never owned a tablet, so I don't know.
Me neither.
I've never really seen the need for one, but
maybe if you're in the field and you don't want to carry a clipboard, you carry a tablet.
I guess I'm just old. I
digital?
like paper. I think I'm just old, I guess. I don't know.
I think if I had a tablet for work, I would use it. Because I write down a lot of stuff at work.
Even at my job, I don't think I'd use it. I can get all my catalogs as PDFs and stuff like that, but I still I'm like, do you have a paper catalog that I can like turn a page on, please?
I prefer that for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Rather than reading through things. I'm always like, can I have some physical prints, please?
Yeah. This GameStop deal sounds like they were just like, we need something. And if Wish.com had come to them and be like, we'll sell Wish tablets here, they would have been like, oh, hell yes, let's do it. Let's make it happen, baby. So, this is probably in the U.S. only, too, because, I mean...
I don't know. Is it in the U.S. only?
I can't see that... Oh, I'm pretty sure EB Canada is basically a separate company than... all these companies are separate in Canada, generally. They're not run by the U.S. department.
Yeah.
So I would say it's just... Well, I mean, I'll tell you this way. Whenever there was a promo involving GameStop in the States in the past that I was interested in, it was never in Canada. So I would think it's probably going to be the same thing. Like, I know that the Microsoft financing is only through EB/GameStop in Canada, but I can't see the Surface thing happening here. So we'll see anyways. But, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like everyone's just trying to keep GameStop alive for some reason.
Especially GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
especially GameStop.
Well, and then GameStop did that whole thing a while ago where they were like, let's all just sell Funko Pops and stuff. And
it's and board games and
just a bunch of future landfill.
Stuff. Yeah.
Future landfill, as I like to call it. I haven't been to EB Games in Kamloops here for like 4 years. So, yeah.
I was there earlier this year, I think. No. Last year.
I mean, when I worked up near it, I would go there like once a week on lunch break and just whatever, but no. Now it's just like not a chance.
No, definitely not. They do have some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, for sure, but I don't know. Like, if I want something, generally, I can have it from Amazon the day it comes out.
Yep.
Or I don't know I want it, so I just order it from Amazon. And if it's something I really want, well, I got like the source over here that I can go to, or Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah, going up to the single EB Games from where we are, it's like,
If there was one down here, I'd probably go to it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't open another one, actually.
No?
There'd probably be enough business around for that.
Maybe
I would
they
think
just don't want it over here.
This town's just fucked up, dudes. Let's get some growth on the shore, baby.
Speaking of effed up.
Yep.
In a historic mood, the PlayStation 5 is going to swap X and circle button use in Japan.
This is crazy to me.
It's so weird.
Because I mean, only in Japan do they have it like that. But I think it came from the fact that in Japan that's how it was before. Like, circle is confirm, and I can't actually remember what it is now.
Yeah, circle was confirm and X was cancel.
And in North America it was opposite.
Yeah, and so now X is going to be confirm and circle is going to be cancel.
I wonder why they just didn't stay the way they did it.
I don't know.
Just like, who cares?
Maybe for programming ease?
Yeah, but all it is just on the controller. Their buttons are switched. They're in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Like, is they would have to, like, in the Japanese games, they'd have to program them differently from the American games. They'd have to swap which button it is.
Yeah, I guess the display in the game,
Yeah.
just if it's showing the X or the circle, I guess they would have to, but that's not really that hard. That's just part of like translation, basically.
Yeah.
So they have to do that anyways, but Japan's getting screwed on this, I gotta say. They've been doing it this way for 20 years with the PlayStation. So
Yeah.
I don't know what
And I mean,
the end goal is.
that's why the buttons look like that.
Yeah,
Circle for yes,
Yeah.
X for no.
exactly. So
That's what it was supposed to be.
And
And then, yeah.
the thing is, Nintendo needs to get on this thing here and Switch, because now the confirm button on the the Switch is the cancel button everywhere else. So whenever I switch from Xbox or PlayStation to Switch, I'm always canceling all the time, and I'm like, oh my god, why can't we just get on the same page? Can we get a universal like controller layouts, please?
Standardizations,
Oh
please.
my god,
I mean, the face, what they look like doesn't
they're
have
all
to be the same.
they're in
but
the same position.
as long as they're in the same position, it'd be great.
Come on, Nintendo, let's get with the program here. But
I seem to remember doing that when I picked up the Switch for the first time.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, why does this feel weird?
Every time I pick up the Switch after I've been playing on the Xbox or something, I'll be canceling all the time. Just cancel. I'll be like, oh my god.
Am I remembering for the SNES that it was like that as well?
Probably. That's so long ago. I haven't touched it.
I think I'm just
Super
implanting
Nintendo
memories
control
in my head now because it was too long ago.
Well, it was A and B, so B would be cancel, and that's in the bottom spot. And I'm pretty sure confirm is in the right-hand slot on the other one. So I think so, but anyways. It just seems weird to... All these Japanese guys are being like, what the hell?
Right?
I don't know how to control
It's
this
gonna be
anymore.
so backwards.
So unless they're just... I don't know. I can't even say. It's very weird, though.
It is weird.
So.
It doesn't make any sense why they would do it, other than to make programming
I
easier
guess.
for the rest of the world.
I mean, I guess in the West they sell more PlayStations than they do in Japan, so
Yeah,
that could be it.
could be.
So, whatever.
And speaking of PlayStation, more PlayStation stuff, the PlayStation hard drive might not have as much space as they are touting.
Because it's got
reserved
space for...
So this is a leak from some Russians just taking pictures. So who knows how
Ruskies.
accurate this is.
The Ruskies.
But it just shows 667 gigs free from a fresh PlayStation.
How'd they get a PlayStation?
I don't know. So huge grain of salt. Don't know how accurate this
I
is.
believe it.
Oh yeah,
it's always been that way.
For sure.
So
You got to put your software somewhere.
I remember when the PS3 had reserved a bunch of hard drive space. I can't remember how much it was. No, sorry, it wasn't hard drive space. It was reserved RAM. And then for the operating system. And then eventually, once after a while the system was out, they released more RAM to the developers. Like, okay, we don't actually need this much RAM. You can now use this much RAM. So who knows? Maybe this is just like they've reserved this space because they don't have like the final like launch software for the PS5 all keyed in and everything. And then when it comes out, it'll be like, oh, there's an update. Oh, there you go. There's all your hard drive back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. These are just pre-production models.
Exactly.
If
So
anything, so.
But of course, I would expect space to be used up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's always been that way.
Unless you're like installing a fresh hard drive without an OS.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some space taken up.
Exactly. So the same thing was on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Like, there's space is reserved. Just the way it is. Sorry. It's the way it's been. So
yeah. So AMD had their had a little preview event for their new CPUs coming out. The Zen 3 series and some big Navi, the 6000 series cards. Some stuff was leaked as well before that, and they say they're going to challenge the RTX 3080s.
Who says that we're going to challenge the RTX 3080s? AMD is, or general
the leaker?
population? The
leaker probably. So apparently the 6900 XT is going to be selling for $549 to $699, so that's a pretty wide gap there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, leaked information, who knows? And it's going to have 16 gigs of RAM, which is like 6 more than the 3080 has.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
So, I have a couple of things here. I don't know much about the computer world. So, these are like the competitor sort of ones, right?
Yeah,
so
the Radeon series is the direct competitor to the Nvidia.
So like for example, these I couldn't put one of these in my computer.
Sure you could.
Oh, I could.
You could.
Oh, I'm getting confused with the Ryzen.
Oh yeah, I switched it. We'll talk about the Zen 3s coming up soon.
A Ryzen I can't put in my computer.
Yeah, you can't put
okay,
that.
So that's a chip.
Different, yeah, it's a different socket.
So
so these are the video cards.
What would I be looking for here between these Radeons and the other ones? Like for me personally, like I want to play Minecraft. Does it matter?
Well, you want to play Minecraft and stream at the same time.
Yes.
So you want those CUDA cores, which are proprietary to the Nvidia.
Okay.
Those CUDA cores help do a
Is
whole
that
lot
French
more
or something?
I don't know.
It sounds like it.
CUDA.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know much about the computer stuff. So there's 6 gigs more RAM.
6 gigs more of RAM, and they're speculating that the big Navis won't be able to outright win a 4K competition against the 3080s.
I don't care about that either, but couldn't eventually one of the NVIDIA ones be like, oh, we have 20 gigs of RAM in it? Would that be something they could do?
Oh, yeah. Well, the 3090s have like 26 gigs.
Okay, so this just the lower end model has a little more RAM than...
Yeah.
And what would that do?
It's just like you can put in higher res textures into that RAM,
okay.
So that and all the information can just be fed into there.
Okay. So when the people are developing for a game, are they going to develop for the 10 or are they going to develop for 16? Or they'll just scale it?
It'll just be scaled.
Okay.
It's like it'll just be, you can have higher res textures in there, so you can do 4K easier.
Okay. I get it. I think I get it.
And then the Zen 3s, of course, they had their big talk about it. What the hell? A preview event? Not a launch event because they're not out yet.
I don't know.
But they looked pretty interesting. Did you watch any of it? I didn't.
Nope, I can't watch computer stuff because I don't know what any of it means. They're just talking about stuff and it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. There's going to be cheap and there's going to be fast. You're not going to need a new socket.
Okay, perfect. That I like. I just need to be told what I want to buy. Like that's all I need.
Yeah, I should have prepared some notes, but I didn't.
That's okay.
But it seemed pretty interesting. Like they were going to be doing octa-cores standard.
Sure.
Standard.
I can't believe it. Finally.
Yeah. Well, I've only got these are both quad cores.
Oh yeah.
In my computers, and you only have a quad core, but their octa-cores are going to be up there.
Okay.
Super fast, super cheap.
How will Minecraft run on it?
Very well.
Okay, I like it.
Very well.
That's all I need to know.
I think, unless Java still only uses one core.
Then I could just get a cheap one.
But they're saying that their single core speed is going to be much better now than their multi-core.
All right. I'm excited.
Because their multi-core is usually better than Intel, and their single core was a lot slower, but now their single core is going to be a lot better.
Interesting.
Yes, and I'm not entirely sure if Java takes advantage of multiple cores.
I have no idea.
I know back in the day when I was playing a lot of Minecraft, Java did not run on multiple cores, just one.
Good old Java.
Good old Java.
Good.
Yeah, we'll skip that. We'll talk about it next time when I have more stuff prepared.
All right, no problem.
I was watching it in the bathtub. It's like,
in the bathtub.
AMD, so romantic in the tub.
Very good.
Well, some more video card talk. Somebody managed to install Crysis in the video card RAM of the RTX 3090 and just played it straight from the video card RAM.
That's so. How big is Crysis 3 that they can install it on the memory card RAM?
I don't know.
I thought Crysis 3 would be pretty big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is not the remastered version.
No, this is not remastered. This is just straight up Crysis 3, and it just fit it straight into the video.
Okay, then that's fine. I thought we were talking about the
3090's got 24 gigs of video RAM, and it just partitioned out. Oh, you made a 15 gig drive.
It must have run like super, just like insta-load, basically.
Probably. Because the RAM on the new 3090 card is supposed to be super quick.
That's crazy.
GDDR6.
Yeah, when I read this, I was like, it was the remastered version. I was like, that game's got to be huge. How did he do it? But no, if it's just the original Crysis, which still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would load fast.
It's pretty interesting that you can actually like access your video card RAM and install stuff onto it. That's I didn't know you could do that.
I'm trying to think here. Yeah. There was something like that on the 360 where I can't remember exactly what it was, but you could install something to somewhere you weren't supposed to. I don't remember exactly, so never mind. Aren't you supposed to do that with Skyrim? I thought you were supposed to.
Oh yeah, he should have done it with Skyrim. What is he thinking?
I know. He fucked it up.
Thinking?
Yeah,
he definitely did. Skyrim might be too big to do that with.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know. If it's just base Skyrim, no updates, it was on one DVD, so it should be no problem. Yeah, 5.6 gigs. 11.2.
11.2. So he could have done it.
But
with
it it launched on one DVD, so yeah, it should be no problem. So
Yeah.
he should have Skyrim. What an idiot.
He did not
What
play
a
into the meme.
buffoon.
He did not play into the meme. Yeah, must have played pretty good. Loaded pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly.
All the textures and everything's already in video memory.
I remember way back in the day. I mean, it doesn't do this anymore, I don't think. But you'd install a game on you put it in the 386 and you'd put it on the 486 and you try to play it and you'd just be like moving too fast because of the processor. So
yeah, games back then were tied to the speed of the game was tied to the speed of your clock.
I know. So I remember
funny.
just being like, this is unplayable now.
There we go.
Different times for sure.
Very different times. And speaking of different times, we got future times
This
coming
is
up.
this is custom news for Mikey T.
Custom
right
news.
Here.
Razer has made a Visa card for gamers.
You can't see, but I'm shaking my head right now.
I want one so bad.
No.
So you can get it's just all black. It's got your name and it's got a Razer logo and a chip.
That glows.
So you can get the premium edition that has the chip that glows green,
No,
Razer green.
No.
Like, oh my god, I want one.
No.
Not available in anywhere but Korea.
Oh, Korea?
Yeah,
Okay. No, you don't want this.
I think it's Korea.
That's fine. It probably is. No. Imagine how quickly that'll break, first of all. This, it's not even a real credit card. It's a prepaid card.
It's a prepaid card. You got to tie it to.
No.
There's a Razer Cash app kind of thing.
Yes. No, you don't want this. This is just your
Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore. You don't want this. Well, you do want it, but you shouldn't want it.
Yeah, I definitely do want it. Look how cool that looks.
No, don't look at your credit card. How cool it looks. Come on. You're just giving them money for free here. You don't want to do that. Just get a regular credit card.
But it won't look like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't
my
matter.
credit card needs RGB.
No, it doesn't.
It just needs G.
No, it doesn't need any of that. Oh my god. What happens when your battery burns out in that thing?
Right? Yeah, I wonder how it's powered.
Just like one thin battery spread out through the whole thing?
Yeah, probably a LiPo battery. If you bend it, it explodes.
Yeah, exactly. And you sit it on your wallet, your Costanza wallet, and it just burns a hole in your pants.
Who's got a Costanza wallet?
I mean, I've seen Costanza wallets.
Ridgewallet.com.
Oh, God. Yeah, your metal wallet?
My metal wallet? Yeah, I love it.
Just get a regular credit card, and you can just say you have a Razer one because no one will see it.
I'll spray paint it black and
you could do that
green,
too.
Green
you could
logo
do that
on
too.
it.
You could break the chip out of your card and put it in any piece of plastic you wanted to.
That's true. I can put it in my hand.
Don't buy this card. Don't fall into the trap.
I doubt it would probably be so expensive for it to come over here.
Don't buy one. Just get a regular credit card. It's just the way to go. Alrighty. What's next on the list?
Let's move into some software news now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So the hearing between Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff with Epic doing its thing, thing.
Yes.
The U.S. House Committee says Apple, Google, Amazon,
Yes.
Google, Apple, Facebook are engaged in monopolistic behavior with their walled garden.
Yeah. Next,
kinda
we
deal.
knew this next.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of course.
And so Microsoft is, of course, backing Epic in their fight because Microsoft's like, hey.
Well, they want to get Project X Cloud.
They want to get
there.
Project X Cloud on there. So now Microsoft has a plan to circumvent Apple and get Xbox onto iOS.
They're just going to use the browser.
They're going to use a browser-based system, just like Luna does.
Yeah.
Or does Stadia do that as well?
I think maybe they do. I remember the first tests they were doing for Stadia was letting you play Assassin's Creed 2 in a browser, I think. But I don't know exactly what it is. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Stadia's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's all monopoly. Obviously. Amazon's notorious for, investing in a company and then, copying their product and then the company shutting down.
Yeah.
Facebook, well, it's Facebook, whatever. Apple, I mean, whatever. Just set up by a psychopath, so they have psychopathic behaviors. And Google, well, I mean, I don't know too much about Google's business practices, but I'm sure they're the same as any other corporation.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I wonder if the committee recommends a series of reforms to combat monopolistic practices, including discrimination requirements to keep dominant platforms from pushing their own services over others.
Oh yeah, this is like, well, you can't build in Apple Music if you want to have Spotify. Apple Music can't be blah blah blah.
You can't push
Microsoft
Apple
already
over.
got shit all over by this a long time ago with the Internet Explorer not being able to uninstall it, and then they had their whole hearing where they would fake the results of how fast Windows was with Internet Explorer in or out and stuff like that. So.
Can you uninstall Edge?
I'm sure you can. You must be able to. I know that way back in the day with Internet Explorer, it was like they showed the hearings like, well, look how slow Windows is when you uninstall Explorer. And one of the guys was like, well, what are the specs of the computers you use? And then it was like the computer they used with uninstalled Explorer, and it was like way shittier. So, yeah.
So you can remove Edge.
Yeah, you have to be able to.
From your computer.
Just the regular, just uninstall.
Just regular uninstall.
Yeah, Microsoft's already got shit on by this, so they gotta let you do it. So, and then what did they get penalized by? They probably had to donate computers to a school or something like that. Like whoop de fucking do.
So I'm curious as to if anything's gonna come from these recommendations.
Well, Apple will fight it to tooth and nail.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I can see why. Like, if I was Spotify, I mean, the whole music streaming business sucks anyways, but if I was Spotify and it was like, no, just use Apple's streaming service. It's right there on the dashboard. You don't got to worry about it.
It's pre-installed.
Pre-installed, so whatever. Anyways, Apple sucks.
Agree. And Microsoft is touting a more open Microsoft store now.
Yeah, I wonder what the deal with that is. Like, what exactly are they saying?
They've got 10 points here. I think it's 10, something like that. And it's a whole lot of, it's just do what you want. Kind of. Developers will have the freedom to choose whether to distribute their apps for Windows through our App Store. We will not block competing app stores on Windows, which is good because they won't block Steam or anything like that. Because if you did, then wow.
Could you do that? I guess they could in theory. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's like we're going to charge responsible fees. We're not going to block anything. You can sideload whatever you want. Steam, Epic Store, whatever. And they'll be incredibly transparent about the whole thing. Is essentially what this whole list
I don't know how Microsoft went from like one of the worst companies for like consumer practices to be like one of the best.
Right?
It's crazy. Like everything they're doing, it's just like, oh yeah, the consumer. And I mean,
yeah,
it looks good from the outside.
It definitely does.
Every time they say something, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, all right. I like what you're doing. It sounds good to me.
Yeah, they've definitely come a long way from where they were in the 90s and
in the
early 2000s.
Just like the shitty Microsoft store, and you got to have their shitty DRM. And
yeah. Even in the DOS days, it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
They're just stealing people's stuff. Like, oh, look at DOS. We're amazing.
We created this disk operating system.
Yep.
No, you didn't. Xerox did.
Other disk operating systems? No, you use Microsoft disk operating system.
Well, I know it came from, what was it? They bundled DOS with Windows, and that was kind of what was like, yo, you need both.
They, when the original thing they did was they had the DOS, right? And then when Windows came out, they were like, oh, we're just going to put this little piece of code in here that says there's an error if you try and run Microsoft Windows on non-Microsoft DOS platform, so like OS2 Warp or whatever. And so that came out, that was only in there for like the previews for reviewers and stuff, and then they took it out. And so the reviewers was like, well, this error comes up whenever you try and launch it on this system.
Nicely
It didn't
done.
prevent you from launching it, but there was an error. There was just like a little nag in the back.
That's like when I went to install the RTX voice on my computer, and it was like, you don't have an RTX card. And I was like, that's fine. Don't worry. You can install it. It's all good. Yeah, again, Microsoft is doing things.
Microsoft was scum, and now they're...
Still scum, but in a different way.
Yeah, in a different way.
Exactly.
But they have Game Pass now, so...
Exactly.
Guys, if you don't
they're
have Game
buying
Pass
my
now,
they're buying my love.
yeah.
It's like
if you guys don't have Game Pass now, what are you doing?
It's like when your parents get divorced and your parents have to fight over your love and they buy you stuff all the time. It's great.
Yes.
We can talk about it now. It's games.
We got details on how the PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility is going to work.
Yeah. It's pretty much every PS4 game except 10 will play on the PS5.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
They're definitely like 99%.
Absolutely. It is 99%. Now we have like cold hard facts. It's like 99.99%.
Yeah.
The 10 games that don't work are also just trash, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, what are the 10 games again?
They are Afro Samurai 2, Revenge of Kuma, Volume 1. Wow. Afro Samurai 2, blah, 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 Volume 1. DWVR, whatever, some VR game,
Yeah,
who knows?
gotta be.
Hitman Go Definitive Edition.
That sounds like a mobile game.
It is a mobile game. Joe's Diner, whatever, who knows? Just Deal With It, whatever, who knows? Robinson, The Journey. Shadow Complex Remastered, I've heard of that one.
That's the only one I've heard of.
Shadwen, TT Isle of Man, Ride on Edge 2, that's a motorbike game. And When We Sing are the only 10 that will not work. That's crazy. That list is dope as hell. That makes me way more excited for a PS5. Now they need to release a list of PS3 games and PS2 games and PS1 games that work on there. Oh, none. Okay, never mind. But if they did that, I'd buy a PS5 day one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, if they had full backwards compatibility like that,
God.
that'd be pretty crazy.
Oh my God, I would definitely buy one. I still
mean,
got all my games.
It would have to be all emulation anyway. If
That's
they did.
fine. That's the way it was on the
different
Xbox
architecture.
One.
Yeah.
It was all emulation.
Yeah.
And they did it. I mean, it's not perfect on the Xbox One.
And I mean, with the hardware that's in the PS5, you should be able to just emulate anything. Should just be fine.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Exactly.
I mean, someone's definitely going to come out with a hacked OS, and you're just be able to put it on there and be like, "I'll play all the PlayStation games."
But like, that's the other thing too. Is like, if you're gonna do emulation that way, they can just reserve hard drive space and whatever, and have the emulator in there. And
yep.
I mean, all the ones that backwards compatible on Xbox One, they're all like custom emulation. You have to download a full game to run them on Xbox One. It's not like you just put the disc in and it's like, oh yeah, you play it. No, it has to do a full game download of every single game you want to play. So it's not like it was no work. I don't want to say that Sony doesn't want to do the work, but they kind of don't want to do the work here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't want to do the work.
I mean, I guarantee you that they know how many people use backwards compatibility, and it's not very high.
Yeah.
Like, they had a lot of data from the PS3 days with the original launch that played all the games, and they know that, like, 1% or whatever people use it, so it's, like, not a high priority. But they got to do it because Microsoft is going so hard on it. So, yeah, hopefully they'll add it in, and they don't do it like they did it with, like, PlayStation Now, where it's like, oh, yeah, you can play PS2 games on your PS4, but you got to pay $5 a month or whatever, and you got to download it again, and you can't do it if you already own it, and all this garbage. Just put a disc in. Come on! Let me put a disc in. Let me put a blue PS2 disc in there and play a game.
Yeah.
It's easy. Mr.
Or
Mosquito.
black PS1 disc.
Or, yeah, black one as well. So the blue PS2 discs were CD games.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the silver ones were the DVD games.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to do a smaller game, it was on a blue PS2 disc.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, do you remember PlayStation? Like, oh, this disc is black.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. I got a PlayStation, OG PlayStation on launch.
Yep.
My dad went down in the States, picked one up, and
Nice.
brought it back, and I got one for Christmas.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
They're black.
Oh
The discs are black, dude.
I can listen to music on my PlayStation.
Do you remember playing Ridge Racer? And you could
yeah.
take the game out, put a music CD in, and you didn't have to put the game back in. It was
Yeah.
It loaded the whole game into the RAM. And you had your custom soundtrack. Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
God. And
That was
actually,
amazing.
the Xbox One, I custom soundtracked all day long, just installing CDs onto the drive and just listening to custom soundtracks during the games.
Xbox
I would
OG, you mean?
Yeah. I would never do that now, but back then, oh my God.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
good. Just playing Halo, listening to, like, I don't know, garbage or something like that. I can't even remember what I was listening to then. Anyways, there
Yeah.
we go. That's the stuff.
That is the stuff. Let's talk about Apex for a second.
Oh, this is the Mikey T zone.
This is the MikeyT zone. Apex Legends is now cross-platform.
Oh, we talked a little bit about this
We
earlier.
did talk a little bit about it. I don't think do we need to talk about it again? I
Well,
don't think
not
we need to
really.
talk
I
about
think
it
we
again.
covered it pretty
I
much.
think we did.
Auto aim with the controller.
Auto aim with the control. Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, we're good.
So let's skip it. Let's skip that, and we'll go to some Nintendo news. Nintendo Switch has a brand new battle royale,
temporary battle royale
called Super Mario Brothers 35, where you play Super Mario Brothers against 35 other people.
34.
Yes, because you're the 35th.
Yes, correct.
And of course, there's going to be cheaters because why not?
So sad. How are you cheating? Anyways,
I don't know. How do you cheat on a Switch?
I guess it's probably involving. I would guess it's probably using some sort of port forwarding or like something like that where they're making everyone else lag while you're not lagging. I know they do that sometimes. I remember people were doing that in World of Warcraft way back in the day for like getting mounts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Have you seen any of the game played?
I've seen, well, there was no, I haven't, but I have seen a couple years ago, there was a game, Super Mario Bros. 100 or something like that, and it was like a free-to-play some guys made where it was a Super Mario Battle Royale, and Nintendo was like, no, it's time to shut that down, and they just changed it to be like generic anime characters or whatever, and it was very similar to this, but that makes me wonder, like, did they already have this in the works, or were they like,
Yeah, maybe.
That's a good idea.
That could have been a good idea thing. So it plays very similar to Tetris 99.
Yeah.
Where you're playing Tetris against 99 other people, but instead you're playing Mario, like OG Mario. And every enemy that you can set your attack pattern so that you can send your junk to your attackers or random or the leader.
Yeah.
And essentially all you do is every enemy you kill, you send to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You collect coins, and you can use those coins to open up question mark blocks.
Mm-hmm.
You just randomly open up not randomly, but you set it so you open up a question mark block. And so you can get POWs and mushrooms and stars and fire flowers out of there. But you can pick which level you start on. It's usually in the first level.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go through the warp zones. The warp zones are all still there, and you can just keep replaying levels. And then the warp zone actually shows you what levels are coming up next. So you can plan what levels you want so that the enemies are there, so you can send certain enemies to different people.
It's time to be hitting those hammer bros.
Yeah, for sure. Or like Lakitus and stuff like that.
Oh, man.
And so I've been watching Cosmic play, who is I'm pretty sure he's the current world record holder on any % of Super Mario's.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of fun watching him play because he's so mild-mannered.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get crazy about things, but he's so good at Mario.
Oh, man. He's like the opposite of like some certain big streamers that mauled out over among us all the time.
And so he's going for like coin high scores. So whenever you keep all your coins, and then you have a coin chest. So any guys you kill, their coins go into your coin chest, and you get that at the end of the game. If you start without a like boost, it's like a power-up boost, you get double your coins at the end of the game. So he's like getting 1,000 coins in like his top coin because you played certain levels have more coins and they're way easier to get. And then eliminating guys in your coin chest, you get like 100 coins if you win the game. And then all of that doubles. And so the cheaters in the high score board have 99,999 coins.
Oh, yeah.
But that is impossible to get in that short amount of
time. Sounds like hack saves.
Yeah, kind of. But he's like 4,000 to 5,000 coins is like tops of what you can realistically
leaderboard
achieve.
Cheats, man. Fuck.
Yeah, man. It's kind of fun watching them play, especially when you get way up there to like the final 3 and there's like 9 Lakitus on your screen just sending spinies down. You're like, oh my god, how do we even? You're like smashing your box trying to get stars to get through all that crap.
Yeah. It sounds crazy.
It looks intense to play.
I don't know why they would do limited time. Like, why is Nintendo being so weird?
Yeah, right?
Like,
Nintendo
I guess it's free to play, and they're not monetizing it, so what's the upside, I guess? But maybe, like, you add in a Mario hat or something like that.
Yeah, some cosmetics. You can play as Luigi.
Or Waluigi.
Or Waluigi.
Or Samus. No, I don't know. Imagine Samus jumping around in a Mario game. Oof. She jumps so weird.
Yeah, I mean, this is a thing they should keep around.
Well, it's just like they're doing with the Mario, whatever the hell that thing I bought is. The 3-pack.
At least when you buy it, you own it.
Yeah, but it's just like, why stop making them? Like,
I don't know.
It's just like, maybe they're going to release it as a greatest hit or something like that. I don't know. So weird anyways.
Could be. Speaking about Japan doing weird things, Super Mario World will be opening in spring of 2021.
Oh, Super Nintendo World.
Super Nintendo World, yes. We were just talking about Super Mario World.
Yeah, no doubt.
It looks
is this
cool.
Their theme park.
This is their theme park. This is Universal Studios Japan, and it's gonna be a cheap theme park in there.
Oh, that's good. I guess. I don't know if they should. Well, I mean, whatever. It's already. They must have been already almost done with everything. So
yeah. So there's no real like.
Damn, I'd eat that.
Pictures.
I'd eat that Mario hat with strawberries in it.
There's no real pictures of like what it looks like. There's just 3D
Renders.
mock-ups, but there are pictures of like some of the food that you can get, like this crepe taco Mario hat and Luigi hat.
Okay, I'm
filled
in.
with stuff.
I'm in now. I'm in now. They got me. Look at this shirt.
That shirt.
Oh my god.
They got the
Who's Cap? There's Cappy there.
Yeah, they got Cappy. They got mustaches. They got Luigi and the crown.
Pinstripe.
And the Who's Cap pillow.
Weird.
Yeah, it looks like it would probably be a good time for the kiddos.
When is this? 2021?
2021.
Don't ever say that word again. First of all, I'll climb across this table and kill you if you say kiddos again.
Yeah.
Let's book our tickets now. Let's
go all the way to Japan.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Take the podcast on the road.
Hell yeah.
We'll vlog it. It'll pay for itself.
It will.
Just kidding.
And here's some funny news. Some funny news coming out of Facebook. Facebook, a little while ago, banned a Onion commercial for being overtly sexual.
Yes, because the onions look like titties.
The onions were so round and sumptuous. And it's from this company in Newfoundland, I think.
Oh, Newfoundland.
Somewhere over there.
Onions. Imagine a titty tasted like an onion.
And so they've lifted the ban on this commercial. And that's hilarious. I just found that incredibly hilarious. That
I saw the ad, and it was just like round mushrooms, round onions, whatever.
Round onions.
It does. Like, it does remind me of a picture that I saw that a woman got deleted off of Facebook because it was too sexual, and it was her sitting in the tub, and the tub was like up to her neck, but her elbow was sitting on it, and her elbow looked like a titty, and it got deleted. I mean, their algorithm. Well, that's kind of good though. That means there's not someone looking at these pictures.
Yeah, it's just the algorithm.
Algorithm is like, no, that's a titty. Sorry, you can't. And then they'll maybe double check it afterwards.
Yeah.
But that's good because hopefully I know there's another article we're not going to talk about here, but like I saw something like it was like 60% of the child porn is distributed through Facebook now or something like that.
Jesus.
So it's like,
how is that even possible?
That's Facebook. I would like. Why would you do anything illegal through Facebook?
Yeah,
oh my
that doesn't make any sense.
So I don't know. I didn't actually read the article. The article could be totally wrong, but it was something anyways. So
yeah, that could be a sensational.
Yeah, it could be too. I never thought about that. So, but algorithm, if it's catching bad stuff, cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm okay with it. My nephew doesn't need to see a titty when he's on Facebook. So
even though it's an onion.
Well, one onion can be a casualty in the war.
Yeah.
It's okay.
One onion commercial, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about the big stuff.
The big stuff.
The big stuff that I know nothing about.
Here we go. You don't know nothing about this?
Nothing. I know there was a vote for getting a new creature in there.
Yes. What are we talking about? Minecraft. The new update's coming in 2021. 1.17. The Caves and Cliffs update. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. This looks so good.
17?
What did I say? No, I said 1.17. Didn't I?
Yeah, but that could have been 1.1.7.
No, I would have said 1.1.7.
Because normally people say 1.17 when they're talking about 1.1.7.
Not me. No, you don't know. No, you don't know anything about Minecraft. You don't know how we talk about it.
I don't know nothing about Minecraft.
Because it's 1.16.3. That's what we're on right now. That's what we're on right now.
I don't know anything past 1.1.10.
Wow, old school. So yeah. There's a lot of changes coming with this update. It's going to be dope AF. So first thing is, everyone's been complaining. Well, not complaining, but the mountain generation in Minecraft isn't too good. So when they generate a world in Minecraft, the mountainous areas are a little lackluster. So this is adding it in to make them look more realistic, like a real world mountain. Right now, the other thing, too, is there's like a limit to how high you can build in Minecraft. So these look like they're going to go higher than the build limit. So they're probably going to increase how high you can build. So that's exciting for building stuff way up in the sky. The other thing, too, is the caves kind of suck in Minecraft where they're kind of boring. And it's just like, whatever, a hole with some ores in it, whatever. This is adding like whole giant caverns, and there's stalactites and stalagmites. different biomes underground. There'll be lush caverns with vines and everything like that. So lots of different areas to go exploring in. They're making it less boring, basically. I mean, back when you played a lot, it was probably like in the ocean, there was nothing. It was just sand.
There's definitely nothing in the ocean.
They've added all the coral and fish and all sorts of stuff. So they're doing that.
There's a mod that added that.
Okay, well, this is in the game now.
Yeah.
What else are they adding in? They're adding archaeology. You'll find like ruins, and you can go use your brush and expose ruins and rebuild like clay pots and stuff like that. They added the new mob what you had to vote for, which was between the Moo Bloom, which was like a cow with a flower growing out of his head, some sort of illager, which is like an attacking guy. We don't need any more mobs that attack you in this game. You get attacked enough. This one summoned like an ice block to crush you, and then there was a squid that glows in the dark. Squiddy Boy 1. Good old Squiddy Boy 1. Just new blocks, a new ore. They're adding another new ore, copper. And it looked like they're adding in copper slabs and stairs, which is not something they've ever had, like copper or iron slabs and stairs. Hopefully they're going to expand it that way. New crystal. Like, there's so much new stuff coming in. It's going to be so exciting to play it and what you can do with it. Wireless redstone.
Oh, wireless redstone.
Wireless redstone. Yeah, there's a new block that when it receives a signal, it'll transmit a signal 5 blocks away wirelessly. So that'll be crazy rather than having to pillar up redstone to build stuff. Oh, baby. It's going to be exciting to see. And not that I know how to do redstone at all, but...
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of stuff that had been previously done in
yes,
mods
that's
coming.
What they seem to do all the time. The other big thing they're adding is a thing called bundles, where it's a little bag that you can put different items in, and then you carry that in a slot in your inventory. It's like a shulker box, but you don't have to put it down to open it.
Yeah.
So you can just carry like tons of crap everywhere. So
that was in forestry.
Yes,
the forestry mod.
Yes, so they take a lot of cues from different mods for sure.
Yeah, they should just take the entire forestry mod and put it straight in.
Maybe they will. Who knows? What else? There's also they're building some map thing, but it's available on Bedrock and Java somehow, which is the first time I've seen any like. Sort of, it seems like it's like like they have the Jurassic World DLC thing on Bedrock. It seems like
dope.
Yeah, it was all right. They seem to like have that, but it's going to be on Java too, which is not something that Mojang's ever done. The other thing too is they had during this video they had like sort of like a tour of like all these studios that do these mod things for Bedrock, like the Jurassic World, but then they'll have like, oh yes, our studio makes furniture for Minecraft. We have 10 employees, and I'm like, this company makes furniture for Minecraft, and they have 10 employees? Like, what the fuck? Are they making that much money from selling this stuff in Bedrock? Like, holy crap. So it was crazy. So I was like, how do I do this? I gotta get on this. Yeah, they'll make like custom, like, you know, if you go to Bedrock, you can log into the server and they'll be like, oh, here's the frog-themed furniture set. And you can just download frog-themed furniture, and it's like a chair you can put down that you can build. So, yeah, it was all these and they're building adventure maps and stuff like that. It was crazy. So I guess there's money to be made on Bedrock.
Yeah.
So I can see why they would want to bring that sort of stuff to Java. Like, they're leaving money on the table. So
it looks like there's a bunch of free stuff too.
Yeah, there's always free stuff, but you can buy it. Like, obviously,
I guess I'd have to be looking at it on console.
Yeah,
to see
someone made the Jurassic World DLC that I bought. So there's companies doing that. It wasn't made by Mojang. It was just on the store. So like, I was like, holy crap! If I had talent or skills, that's something I would do for sure. Don't have any of that. So, anyways, I won't talk too much about it, but I'm excited for it, and I'm ready. My body is ready.
Are they going to make it so that snow biomes don't spawn right next to desert biomes?
No, they're not going to do that, I'm sure. But they're improving. They're doing stuff with snow where I can't remember exactly what it was they were talking about snow, but they're doing. Oh, there'll be like snow you can fall into.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if that means they're going to make snowshoes. I never thought about that. Like snow drifts. I bet you they're going to make some new footwear for snow, or maybe an enchantment.
Hidden chasms you're just going to be able to plummet into to your death.
Oh, yes. Maybe they'll add glaciers or something. With the copper, they're gonna make it so the copper like ages and turns green over time,
Ooh,
depending on how long you're playing
cool.
for.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah.
They also showed some other bull crap, like about Minecraft World and Minecraft Dungeons. We don't care about that.
Minecraft Dungeons now crossplay.
Oh, it is crossplay. That's
It is now
right.
crossplay.
Finally, I played that a little bit the other week, and it was fine. They just need to. I don't know what they got to do.
Well, there's not much. When I was playing, there was not much to it.
No, kind of ran through it, and then whatever.
Yeah, they didn't. There weren't the multitude of weapons that you would normally find in something like that.
Yeah.
The multitude of skills and areas and whatnot.
Oh yeah, and they're adding the goat to Minecraft.
The goat.
Yeah, there's a goat that'll knock you off of cliffs. It'll ram you off a cliff, so you
That
got to
sounds
watch
fun.
out. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm sure there's other things I'm missing that were like, there's like the new mob that'll attack you underground that's blind, that'll chase you based off of sound rather than movement.
Ooh.
The axolotls,
Axolotl.
water dogs.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this earlier.
And they'll attack guardians for you and stuff. Oh, baby. I am excited.
Water dog.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this. So that's about all I'll say about the Minecraft.
All right, sounds good. Should we talk about some streaming news?
Yes, let's do it.
We got some accusations coming out of Twitch staff about sexual assault, racism, and the like.
Another company.
Another
shitty
big
employees.
company with shitty employees. Yeah.
What a shocker. News at 11. What kind? I mean, again, like whatever, but like, what are they saying? What kind of things were happening specifically?
Just like sexual, verbal, physical abuse and racism. You know, the standard
standard
office
3.
politics. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
Can
exactly.
Can we stop? Can we just stop doing this? Just don't be racist. Don't be
Yeah.
a sexist asshole.
I mean,
Just don't.
yep. I mean, when people get in charge, they just act like ding dongs,
Yeah.
say stupid things.
Sounds like 16 Twitch employees dating back to when it was all the way back to Justin TV.
Justin TV.
They came out and just started.
Well, way back in the day, I can understand that because
Yeah.
it was just whatever 4 people working there, and they probably were 4 white guys, and then they hire like someone who's not like them, and it's just like, oh, I always say this. It's no big deal.
Got a bit of a quote, says, many of these allegations are years old, and we've taken numerous steps to better protect and support our employees and community, and will continue to invest time and resources into the area.
Sounds like a boilerplate comment.
Does sound like a boilerplate comment. I was saying it was a boys' club. It's definitely
No
biased.
kidding. Weird.
Yeah.
What a weird revelation there. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they expand and figure things out, they'll get better. But I mean, again, like who had been working at the start of Justin.tv? There'd be 20 neckbeards that are working, figuring how to stream video games. Like,
Yep. Well, I mean,
that have never talked to a woman or someone different from them ever.
our Eastern compatriots, Maximus Black and Nova War, they were on the platform when it was Justin TV.
Yeah, exactly.
10 years ago, whatever
Well,
it was.
I mean, my KurbStomp account was made on Justin.tv.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But again, seriously, it was all neckbeards back then that probably didn't know what to say or do. Not that that's an excuse, but it's just like times have changed and it'll be
definitely.
better. So,
Definitely.
as long as they're trying to fix it up and these people that do this stuff getting something happens to them, if they just get the free pass, then that's not good.
No free passes. No, not anymore.
Exactly.
Get them out of there. We don't
Agreed.
need them.
Agreed.
And speaking of Twitch staff, we need to get out of there. We don't know. This
this
is
is a weird one.
A very weird story here. Twitch staff accused of tricking streamer into promoting brands. There is only one recorded report of this happening
Yes.
that I was able to find, and it's the only one that is out there.
It was a Twitch staff in a guy's chat who sent a biddy alert.
A biddy donation with an alert.
And
Was
it
it
said-
did it have an alert?
Well, I mean, maybe there was no alert, but it was a biddy donation. It says, say hello to whatever. And there was a 400 biddies with it. And it came from a Twitch employee. It's just very weird.
Yeah, it's very suspicious.
So there's video of it, but the video looks weird too, but
Yeah.
there's no other record of anything like this happen to anybody else. Like, I don't know, maybe this was just a guy who's he's a Twitch admin and he just was donating to this guy, not as a Twitch admin, just because I don't see Twitch, they wouldn't use a someone's account to do like viral marketing. It would be like
No,
anonymous donation that says
be.
a stupid message or something like that. They wouldn't have some guy use his account. I don't know. It's very weird. So I'm thinking it's either this guy who was watching the stream and just donated, or maybe his account was compromised.
I think his account was compromised.
Like, it's hard to say.
And then he was just, whoever compromised it was just like, oh, we're just going to have a laugh.
Yeah.
But you think if his account was compromised, then they would do it in a multitude of streams.
Well, maybe the other people didn't know and were just like, they didn't know what the icon was. They didn't know, like, that's the Twitch admin icon. They're just like, hey, thanks for the 400 biddies. Yeah, okay, I'll say hello to this thing, whatever. Yeah, all right, thanks. Like, if someone came in my chat and was like, here's 400 biddies, I'd be like, I'd read the message and be like, yo, okay, all right.
Sure,
no
whatever.
problem.
Sure, whatever.
I mean, streamers sometimes get a little worked up about, like, nothing. Like, if...
Well, these guys, this is a pretty big guy, and he's fairly...
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's just trying to protect his brand from
I guess
other people
so.
trying to get in there and use his brand to promote their own thing.
I guess so, but, like, I don't know. It just... I guess I'm not in his shoes or whatever, so I can't really say. But if, like, someone came into my chat and was like, yo, drink some Pepsi, I'd be like, I don't like Pepsi, dog, but thanks for the money. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can essentially say anything you want about that product when somebody does that.
Yeah, exactly. I could be like, yo, your product sucks, man. Thanks for the $5, but you suck and your product sucks and I hate yours and it causes cancer and it molested me when I was a kid and whatever.
Yeah, that's so dangerous doing it like that because
I think this was a hijacked account probably. I think you're right.
I think it was probably a hijacked account. But then, like I was saying, like, wouldn't they do it in other people's streams?
Well, maybe they figured it out right away. Buddy's
Yeah.
at home and was like, why did I just get why did I buy 400 bits on Twitch? I don't need 400 bits. And then it's like, whatever.
Yeah, and it's the only occurrence in this article that we're reading.
I haven't heard of it anywhere else.
Yeah, that's just
And I
it.
know the one thing they was like, you can't clear your chat from Twitch admin messages. So even if you cleared his chat, that would be the only message left there. So it kind of sucks. But I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll hear the real story eventually. But
Yeah, and
I
then
would
maybe
think.
somebody else will come forward and be like, hey, this happened to me too.
didn't happen to me.
Because, yeah, if somebody hijacked an account, they're going in to have a laugh.
I'm
So they're going to be
trying to-
donating to multiple people being like, hey,
I don't think I've ever been donated anything that involved some like a brand or something like that.
No, me neither.
Like even as a joke from someone in the chat.
Nope.
The only joke in my chat is me. So that's all. That's all we got going on.
And the way the stream is going from the clip, what he was doing, because he was like doing some exercises, and the brand that is being advertised about has nothing to do with anything.
It wasn't related to what was going on.
It's like
really.
some weird technology company.
We think it's for a Brazilian like technology company, but we're not sure.
Yeah,
So
it's very strange.
very weird. So yeah, you're probably right. And like the way it's written, like, hey, say hello to X. It's like
Bitty bitty bitty.
It's just like a weird thing, like a weird message.
Yeah, because I mean,
It's not like it would say like, hey, visit this.com or whatever.
yeah, you'd think they would put in a link to where you could go.
So, or like who knows? Like who knows? Maybe it's not even supposed to be a business. Maybe it's like that's my other username.
Yeah, and
Or maybe this guy's in the chat. Say hello to him.
yeah,
Give him a shout out.
and
Like,
the
who
company
knows?
that they say is just two very,
Generic words.
generic words, and you Google it, and it's just like
There's
a
a
ton of stuff comes
million
out.
things.
A million.
Anyways, it's a weird thing, but
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Cool.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. I think we made it through all this news stuff
We
we
did make
wanted
it
to
through all
do.
the
So
news.
yeah, let's take a break and then we'll move on to everyone's favorite topic. Weebus Plebus!
Weebus, plebus, where'd you get that animal?
The rain has stopped. The sun came out. What a beautiful day to take my family out to the mall. Then we split up. My wife takes Sean to get some shoes for his feet, and that's really sweet. But I got Jason. Oh wait, no, where did he go? He was standing right here. My wife's gonna kill me. Jason, where did he go? You got me searching high and low. My heart is racing. Press X to Jason. I'm walking around. Then I see a clown. And next...
Hello, we have returned.
Oh. Nani?
Nani?
We got to start into the Weebus Plebus with the Nani.
Yes.
Or some other Japanese thing, I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure.
Exactly.
So for those of you who don't know and are new here, Weebus Plebus is a little section where we talk about anime. Curb doesn't normally watch anime, but has been watching anime for the podcast, and I, of course, watch anime all the time.
9 weeks straight or something like that.
It's the Weeb and the Pleb.
Yep, Weebus Plebus.
Yep. So this week we watched Battle Angel Alita.
Or Gun M, as it's called in Japan, I believe.
Her name in the original manga is Galley.
Galley.
Not Alita.
Weird that they would change it to Alita.
Yeah,
like, is it any better or worse than her original name?
I
don't think so.
I don't know.
Before we make any commentary about this, let's just go through the rundown of the story rather than jumping into what we thought of it.
There's 2 episodes in the animated bit, and they cover the first 2 books fairly well of the manga. So it's basically Ito is a doctor. He's a cyber doctor.
Yes.
He finds a
partial broken cyborg.
In
the garbage pile. From the Sky Village.
The city in the sky.
Yeah.
The city that they live in, which is underneath the city in the sky, is essentially their dumping grounds.
Yep.
And they manufacture things down there to send up top. All the premium luxury
Good deal.
goods. Yeah. And so he finds this robot. Cyborg body, cyborg half torso, and repairs her.
Yeah.
So what they don't tell you in there is that Ito lost his daughter a while ago, and so he kind of molds this android in her image.
Okay.
So he comes back, repairs her. He's doing some weird shady stuff outside. And she comes back injured one night, and she's like, "What's going on?
Yes.
What's happening?
What happened to your arm there, sir?" Which is bandaged in one scene and then not at all again. It's just gone on the next scene.
So she goes out the next night and follows him, and
finds out that
he's a bounty hunter, a hunter killer, and he goes after this large brain eating addicted guy. Yeah. So in the manga, before this happens, there's a one good shot of he just like goes brain crazy and in a huge market, and he like takes his 2 fingers and just pinches open this head and just drains it back.
Gross.
It's such a crazy shot. So yeah, they end up getting in the fight there.
And Alito's like, "Yo, I like to kick the shit out of people. I forgot about this. I'm good at it and I like to do it." And she goes ham and just destroys these guys. I did like Ito's, what's his name?
Ito.
He's like jet-powered hammer.
Oh, yeah, that jet-powered hammer. So basically, the way he dresses, he's got like a huge hat on, huge trench coat on. And
he looked like he was going to go shoot up a school, actually.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, he's got a hammer with a spike on the end and a button which engages the rocket so that he can do way more damage.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I love that thing.
So they get in a scrap. Ito's like, "Yo, you don't have to fight. We don't want you to fight." And she's like, "I love to fight. I want to do it." We also missed that, I don't even know what that guy's name. I kept calling him Ryudo because he looks like...
Yudo.
His name's Yudo?
His name's Yudo.
I kept calling him Ryudo because he looked like Ryudo from Grandia 2, but I guess I was close onto it. He's like trying to save up to get to the Sky Village.
Yeah.
And he's fixing stuff for Ito, but...
Yeah, he runs around, does odd jobs, gets parts.
We also find out that he's like a friggin' spine stealer, and...
Yeah, apparently people have, like, they haven't been able to recreate the spine for people. It's like in artificial spines.
Yeah.
So you have to have a fresh spine.
Yeah.
In
so
order
he's
to make
stealing
everything
them.
work. So yeah, he's just hacking people's spines out.
But he's not killing them, so he thinks he's not too bad. He's like, "I just took their spine. They're not dead."
Yeah, it's fine. They're still alive.
Yeah.
You get another spine.
Quality of life's not so good, but they're alive.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And so Alita Galley really likes this Yudo.
She's in love with him.
Definitely
she wants to help him.
And and so she starts donating her money.
Yeah.
Well, she starts
saving
hunting a lot,
money. Yeah.
saving her money so that she can go with him.
And she's kicking the shit out of these guys that she's destroying.
Absolutely.
And then something bad happens to what's his name?
Udo.
Udo.
Well, Udo gets put on a list of spine thieves, and it's like, hey, this is a guy. So he gets put on the top 10 most wanted.
Yeah.
So
80,000.
there's no police down here.
Yeah.
It's just hunter killers, hunter warriors.
Yeah.
And they go around and enforce everything, get rid of all the bad guys.
Yep. And the guy that killed his dad is the guy that finds him.
His brother.
Oh, his brother, right?
So his brother planned to go make an airship.
Fly away to the moon.
And go up to Zalem. But you're not allowed to do that. So a hunter warrior came and killed his brother, cut his hand off.
Paid off by his wife.
Yeah. Yeah, his wife was like...
Turned him in. Yeah.
And so Udo actually has his brother's hand on his arm.
Oh, I didn't know
He cut
that
his arm
part.
off and then had his hand surgically
That's weird.
implanted.
I didn't know that part. I must have missed that
Yeah,
part.
it's not shown in the
okay.
anime. The anime rushes through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I noticed.
And you miss a lot of good stuff.
I noticed.
A lot of explanations.
But the hunter killer that got his brother comes to get him, chops his arm off. He's bleeding to death. Alita doesn't know what to do, so her only thought is like, I'm going to cut his head off, put it on my life support with the help of some woman. I don't even remember her name.
Cheryl.
Who was
Cheryl
like...
is also...
She's from...
Cyberdoc.
She's from the city. She's banished to Earth. She wants to get back. Much like Ito was banished to Earth for whatever reason.
Ito's fine with being down there, but
She's
Cheryl
not.
wants to go back.
She wants to go back. She's literally in bed with the bad guy.
Yeah, there's a guy who works for the factory, and the factory is the people that make all the stuff to send back up to Zalem. And so he's promising people that you can, if you bring me, like he promised Udo that if you brought him 10,000 chips,
10 million.
10 million
or
chips.
1 million. 1 million chips.
1 million chips?
1 million.
That he would send him back up.
Yeah.
I think it was 10 million.
No, I think it was because he was at 950,000, I think.
Okay.
Maybe it is 10. But anyways, it's 1 or 10. It doesn't matter. It's a lot.
Yeah. And so he, so he's promising them that he could send him back up.
Probably a fib.
It's definitely a fib.
So the one woman, Cheryl, after she helped Alita save Udo, was like, I'm done working with you. And then he kills her. Well, they imply she's killed by him. He harvests her parts.
And said to send up to Zalem.
So Ito comes there and he's like, yo, you leave everybody alone. And then he's just beats the shit out of him. And then...
Oh, yeah.
Does he kill his bouncer or does Alita come there too?
No, he kills the bouncer. The bouncer is essentially a Coliseum warrior.
Yeah.
And Ito and Cheryl both build Coliseum warriors for the factory.
There's a lot going on in this thing.
Yeah.
And then Udo is just a dumbass, so he's like, I'm going to climb the cable up there with my
Udo,
new robot body.
Yugo gets a new robot body from Ito.
Oh, Yugo, yeah, right.
Yeah. Because he gets his head chopped off, gets put on a body, and just loses it because he hears Ito and Alita or Gally talking about how you cannot go back up. It's a lie. It's impossible.
Way. So he's climbing up the cable, and they send like the friggin' ripper saw down the cable to chop him up.
Anti-rat ring.
Yeah, so his legs get cut off, and he's just crawling up, and then Alita comes up to be like, let's go back. We can be in love down on the Earth. And he's like... I made it to heaven when I met you. And then he falls off the cable and dies. And she goes down to Earth and I guess continues hunter killering.
Yes.
That's where it ends.
She definitely does.
That's where it ends, basically. That's pretty much all the information you get in this anime.
Yeah,
we didn't miss anything.
They blast through it kind of fast.
They sure do.
It's like the whole... So the first battle that Alita and Ito get into down in the sewers there, where she finds out that he's a hunter killer, she absolutely destroys this. Doesn't destroy him, but knocks him off a cliff. He's like one of the champions of the arena, a former champion of the arena, and he goes back to Cheryl to get repaired.
Yes.
And so she soups him up because she hates Ito, but also is in love with Ito, but wants to be better than Ito. So she soups him up with like these ripper saw blades and
that was weird, that part, because then they're like, he's like, I'm gonna kill. Well, he destroys this dog that's there just to show off his power, and then Alita's like, well, I better rub dog blood on my face.
Yeah. So in the manga, that dog plays a huge role.
Okay, that dog was like a throwaway dog.
Yeah, it was in the animation, throwaway dog, but she plays a huge role in like being like of the loneliness that Alita is versus the loneliness of the dog, and they make friends, and it's all like.
Yeah, because I was like, why does she care about this friggin' dog so much? So then she's like, I'm gonna kill you, and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll fight, but like, let's not do it here. Let's go into the garbage pile.
Yeah.
It was just weird that they were like, why didn't you just shred her right there?
Yeah.
All the other hunter killers won't help; they're all pussies. But the one that killed Hugo's parent or brother is chilling in the bar having a drink. We don't know that at this point, but
No.
anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstory that they do not explain.
No, they don't. This anime just starts. There's no build up. It's just like, yep, we found her. We
just
rebuilt
right into
her.
it.
The end. It's already going. There's nothing, no in-betweenies. Just like, let's do it. Yeah, and it was just a little too much like, oh, there's a cut on his arm. I wonder what happened when he was out last night. And it's just like
the art is really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the whole world building in
The
this.
animation was
Not the world building, but the world.
The animation was pretty good for the most part.
They fall into some of the anime tropes, though.
Yeah, that's the other one that I don't like. This is the first time we've seen it. This time it's when the whoever's doing the attack is doing the like wide mouth scream, not moving, but they do it where it moves down the screen and resets like 3 times. Yeah. That drives me crazy. She did that a couple times in this. Oh, yeah. I mean, the story could have been a lot. I mean, this was 48 minutes or something long. Like, It wasn't very long. It should have been way longer. It was just too much. As I was watching, I'm like, there's stuff I'm missing here, basically. Like, what is happening? Not like it was difficult to follow, but it was like, I know I'm missing backstory here and stuff.
Like the whole thing about Ito's daughter, you're missing.
Yeah.
The whole thing about her body, you're missing. Her body is actually is military hardware berserker body.
Yeah.
That he found near her, but he put that away because he didn't want her to have it. She had like the first girl that is lighting up a smoke, the cyborg girl in like the sewer that you see, and then you see Ito and the rocket. So she's actually wanted, and originally he takes her body and puts Alita into it because it's like all these fine art, gold leaf stuff. So she's beautiful, right? Because he wants her as her daughter. And so the first fight that he comes up with her with, that fight with the brain eaters, she has that body.
Okay.
And that body gets absolutely destroyed.
Because it just can't keep up.
Because it can't keep up. So he gives her the berserker body.
Okay.
And it's not explained what this, I think it's called Panzerkunst, is the anti-cyborg, anti-robot combat style that she knows, which is why she's able to make her fists glow.
It's always German names.
Yeah. So she's actually super powerful.
Oh, yeah, you could tell that in the thing.
They also don't go, she's got this knife blade that she has that comes out of her arm.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually she had to like go on a quest to get this thing made. It was made out of pure Damascus steel.
Oh,
she had to like go
wow.
off to like some guy in the junkyard who's like a master at making this stuff. And it's just like razor sharp.
Nah, they don't need to show that.
Yeah.
Skip that. We only have enough money to do 28 minutes per 2 episodes of animation.
Yeah, I know. Like the story gets way more interesting after these 2 episodes.
Yeah, and the voice acting kind of sucked in this.
Oh my! So there was one terrible quality version on YouTube,
which we watched,
that had the OG dubbing, and it was not good.
No.
The quality, and then the second half I watched the remaster with new dubbing, and the new dubbing was so bad.
Yeah,
but they call her Galley in the new one.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like
so what is it called? Battle Angel Galley?
No, I can't remember. Oh. They flash the title card and it's like Gun Angel something or other. I don't know.
So the other thing too is like when I searched for this, I was like, oh, there's a Battle Angel Alita movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! Just looking from the thumbnails, it looked like hot garbage. It's good.
It's good.
Her eyes, though.
Oh, I know, but that's how her eyes are in the anime.
Yeah, but that's how everybody's eyes are in the anime.
Yeah. So
God.
the movie touches on more interesting things.
I would think so. It's an hour and a half or 2 hours,
Yeah,
so like I could believe that. But just looking at her eyes, I was like, ugh.
It's very
sick.
Both of them are very close to the manga. But the movie, the 2020 movie or 2019 movie, touches more on stuff that happens later. Because normally, well, in the original story, she goes into the arena, like how Cheryl was talking about her. But yeah, she goes into the arena, just destroys people. But you don't see that in the movie. In the movie, she does the thing that happens after that, which is. You want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
So there's a sport called rollerball.
Oh
and it's
God, I don't know if I want to know anymore.
It's essentially cyborgs rollerblading around a track with a ball, and you have to like shoot the
They
ball. And
show this
score
in
a
the
goal.
movie?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
instead of the arena.
sounds terrible.
And it's super cool.
How does this
like
compare to the Speed Racer movie?
I've never seen the Speed Racer movie, so I don't know.
Okay, I didn't like this one.
No?
No, the anime was fine. The animation was fine, but like everyone was so stupid in this show.
Yeah, it didn't age well.
I mean, if it was longer and they had more time to do stuff, it probably was better. But like, I was just like, fucking Yugo's so stupid. Ito's stupid. Cheryl's stupid. She was whatever. She was like basically newly born. She's allowed to be stupid.
Yeah.
But like Yugo was the dumbest character in the whole show. Like, what an idiot. Yeah, the designs were cool and whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like, I mean, I don't know. Did I like it better than Vampire Hunter D? Maybe not. Maybe Vampire Hunter D is a little higher on the scale. But yeah. No, I don't think so. And then when it was like I thought it was a movie, so when I was like halfway through, I was like, the credits are running, and I was like, oh, did I watch the wrong thing? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I had to search on Google, and it's like, no, there's 2 episodes, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess this was the right thing then. Yeah, and the voice acting, oh my God, like, why does I don't know. It's just they always yell like, oh, what's going on here? Like there's the stupid guy with no spine, and that's his voice, and then there's another guy that has the same voice. It's just like, oh my God.
So those little pop up head things with like the arm that are like the robot guys, they sound way better in Japanese.
Oh,
They
yeah, I
sound
bet.
so stupid in English.
Yeah. It was an interesting idea, but like Yugo's so stupid. Like, I'm gonna climb this wire. Oh, my legs got chopped off. Well, I'll keep crawling. Like, I'm so stupid. And I don't know.
Yeah, my rose-colored glasses on this one were definitely fairly clear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was really watching it again. I'm like, man, I remember this being way better.
Yeah, it was
way better.
It looked fine. The animation was more or less pretty good, like I said. But just, I don't know. Everyone was so dumb in this thing.
I think it's because the animes or the manga are still fresh in my head.
Yeah, maybe.
Even though I haven't read them for like years, I can still remember like how cool those were.
Yeah, that
and
probably would affect how much I would know. Like, be like, oh yeah, okay, the dog, like that means something in here. But like this, it was just like she was taking the death of this stray dog like way too to heart.
You see the dog in one shot, and then the dog just comes up. And it's like, hey, we're buddies now.
Yeah.
And then the next shot is the dog getting shredded.
And it's like, this dog means nothing to me. And then she's just taking it so hard where she's like rubbing the blood on her face like war paint. And I was just like, what the hell? So
it's stupid.
But yeah, I think maybe even better voice acting would have probably made me like it more.
Sure.
It was just so bad.
Yeah, if they had covered a lot more of what and explained anything, really.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what I rated Vampire Hunter D, like 6 or something, maybe.
Something like that.
This would be like 5.5. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, why did I watch this? But it's like, okay, I won't watch it again, I guess. So
yeah, no, that watching it again, I was like, disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I watched it when I was a teenager. So
there you go. So you were a dummy.
I was a dummy back
Back
then.
in the dummy era.
Oh my God, this is so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like,
exactly.
Because you never saw that kind of stuff around here.
No, exactly. That's banned in Canada.
You're banned in Canada, man. You can't even watch it.
Exactly.
So I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna watch next.
Oh,
maybe we'll watch something new. Oh,
okay.
I know what we should watch.
Okay, what?
We should watch Devilman versus Cyborg 009.
Oh my God, Devilman versus Cyborg 009.
It's on it. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. It's 3 parts.
Okay.
It's very easy to get through.
Okay.
And it's a newer anime, so we're gonna be bombarded with new anime tropes.
Oh no.
But I really liked it. I was like, oh my God, this is so good.
Is it CGI or is it actual animation?
It's actual animation.
Okay, that's good. I don't like the CGI crap too much.
Like they did Netflix did a Cyborg 009 just straight up series, and it's CG, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch it.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Netflix is bad for that.
Yeah. And it's too bad because Knights of Sidonia is also the same way, and that is supposed to be really good, but I can't get through it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the art's so terrible.
Yep. That sounds about right. All right. Well, I don't remember what you said it was called, but you'll tell me later, and I'll watch it, I guess.
Yep. And then maybe we should just watch Or maybe we should just watch straight up Devilman. Devilman Crybaby.
God damn it. These names,
it's
man.
so messed up.
These names.
Yeah.
Cujo in my chat the other day recommended one. He showed me a clip of it where this principal like gets attacked by a deer in the schoolyard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what that is?
I know that. I've seen it. I've seen that clip before.
Okay.
Someone was also showing me that. Maybe it was Cujo.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it was Cujo.
Okay.
He was in my chat showing me that.
We got to watch that sometime. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. We'll have to figure it out. Talk to him, see what he says.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, we'll post on the Discord or the Twitters about what we're going to do. So if you want to join in, you can watch it. And yeah, I think that's about it for this episode.
That's all I got.
Episode 9 of the Stream Void podcast. I'm KurbStomped. You can follow.
Mikey T.
There you go. You can follow me on Twitter at KurbStomp, on Twitch at KurbStomp, on Instagram at KurbStomp.ttv, and then Facebook Gaming, or on Facebook, KurbStomp Gaming. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can follow me on Twitch at MikeyT33. You can follow me on Twitter at MikeyT33. You can follow me on Facebook if you want at MikeyT Gaming, and Instagram, MikeyT Gaming.
And then damn it, we didn't do it again. What's the Twitter account for this show?
S Void Podcast.
S Void Podcast. We should really change that, I think. And then if you're listening to the podcast, you can follow the podcast on Twitch. It's at Sit Void Podcast. At Twitter is at S Void Podcast. So follow that up. Right. Please feel free. And if you like the show, please share it with somebody you think will like it.
Share it with somebody. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Whatever it is, all the things. 5-star review.
Only 5 stars.
Only 5 stars.
Nothing else. But thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll be back in 1 week's time with the next episode of the Stream Void Podcast.
Adios.
It was an adrenaline rush, and I think you could only take maybe one of those a year. But I was so pumped. I was sweating.
Sweating because a black bear was roaming through Tina Marison's backyard.
The operator said, "What is your emergency?" And I said, "You're not going to believe this, but they're in my woods here." And she says, "There's a black bear on it."
Tina was too stunned to get a picture, but this is what the bear probably looked like, except real.
So, at the work this week, we had... I've been opening early because I'm doing an inventory and stuff like that, ordering. So I'm there an hour before everybody else. So I'm working away, and the other manager comes in, and she's like, "Okay, 2 things." When someone comes in, and it's like first thing in the morning, it's like 2 things. I'm like, "Oh fuck, what's going on?" So she's like, "We have this one guy working, and he texted her," which first of all, you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to call. We don't want to get texts. We want to get called. Called her or texted her and said, like, "I'm not going to be at work until after 10 today because I have a meeting with my lawyer. He's going through a divorce or something like that. And this is the day of." Like, she's walking to work. He's supposed to start at 9. It's like 8:40. He's like, "I'm not going to be there till 10. So she's like, "Call me." So she calls, and he's like, "Well, I didn't hear about my meeting until Wednesday night." This is Friday, by the way. She's like, "I didn't know I had it till Wednesday night." And she's like, "Well, why didn't you tell me Wednesday night?" He's like, "Well, you weren't at work at Thursday all day." And she's like, "You don't have to tell me. Like, tell another manager. Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, okay." Like, this guy's like, he's like 50 something, so he should know better. But he's, "Oh, okay." Because he could have told me, and I would have been like, "All right, we could at least get somebody in to cover or something, Anyways. And then she's like, and the other thing is she got a phone call from this cashier that we have, who's like, I have texted the owner, and I'm waiting to hear back from him, but I might be late today. I don't want to say any more, but that's that." So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's weird. So, okay, whatever. And she's a bit of a weirdo, so it's like, whatever. She's been complaining about having to wear masks, so it's like, whatever. So this is at 9. So like 9:30, the owner comes in. He's like, "Hey, let's go upstairs. We'll have a little powwow." So I'm like, okay. We go upstairs, and we're wearing our masks. We get in the office, take the masks off, because whatever. If one of us gets it at the store, we're probably already going to get it anyways, so whatever. And he's like everyone hates wearing these masks. And I'm like, yeah, we don't like to wear it, but whatever. It's the thing to do. And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, I got a message from the cashier and says she doesn't want to wear the mask anymore. And I was just like, too bad. She has to wear the mask. He's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, she sent me a link to some article about the masks and how they don't work and how they're trampling on our freedoms and something about Muslims. So it's like, oh my God, okay. So he's like, I was reading this while I was eating my breakfast, and he's like, it's just a bunch of bull crap. Like, how can you believe any of this stuff? Whatever. And I'm like, yeah, she's crazy. And he goes, so, she says she doesn't want to wear the mask anymore. I don't want to give in to her because then whatever. No one else is going to want to wear a mask because, well, why? And I'm like, well, I'm wearing a mask, so whatever. I'm like, it's part of the uniform. Like, you wear the shirt, you wear the pants, you wear the mask. If you're working here, that's what you're doing. That's just the way it is, right? He's like, okay, I think she's not going to work here anymore. So anyways, we'd have a discussion. I'm like, yeah, it's really too bad. Like, when you go driving, you have to wear a seatbelt too. You got to use your headlights at nighttime. When you're shopping, you have to wear a pair of pants in the store. Like, you have to wear shoes when you come in the store. Like, sorry, we're trampling on your one specific right of not wearing a mask. So anyways, he calls her, and later he tells me, he's like, I called her, and she's like crying on the phone, and he's like, well, part of the uniform is to wear a mask, so you have to wear a mask. She's like, I'm not going to wear a mask. And he's like, well, if you're not going to wear a mask, I'm going to take that as you quitting because you have to wear a mask. She's like, I'm not wearing a mask. He's like, okay, goodbye, whatever. And she's like crying, and then she messages the other manager saying, like, I didn't quit, just so you know. Like, I didn't want to leave you guys, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, you kind of did, but whatever. And then she's like, well, hopefully once all this mask stuff is gone, maybe I can get rehired. And I was like, what the fuck? So the thing with this woman, too, is like when Corona first started, she was first off the work. She was like, I'm not working. The other manager, when she was off, because she had cancer before, she was a little worried about, just having a lowered immune system. She didn't want to work. So while she was off, she was making these little picnic tables for squirrels. You sit them on your fence. It's a little picnic table, and you put nuts or whatever up there, and the squirrel will look like it's eating at the picnic table, right? So she posted a picture on Facebook, and the woman was like, oh, I want one. So they went to her house to deliver it, and they knock on the door, and she like opened the door a little crack and was like peeking out, like, stand back 6 feet, and like, I'll be right out. And she comes out, she's wearing like the full face mask, she's wearing the gloves. She's like, stand 6 feet away, put it on the table. She like gave him the money. It's in a Ziploc bag. Like, she didn't want to touch it. And she was like the most hardcore of the ones about this COVID. And now it's totally opposite. She's like, it's fake. It's not real. And the thing too is like, she didn't have to wear a mask. She was wearing the visor. She wasn't even wearing a mask, and she didn't want to wear the fucking visor. So it's like, okay, well, you're done here. So anyways. But she's been a weirdo the whole time. She was kind of like gaslighting me almost, where she would tell people like, oh, I just asked Curb for one thing and he like went off on it and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, I don't think I did, but maybe the way I spoke to her, maybe, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So the other week, another little aside about this is there was the security call, which means like someone's stealing something. So I went up there and it was a false alarm, whatever. And when the call comes, it's like instantly heart pumping, adrenaline, like you're at 100, right? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, they're like, cancel, sorry, it was a mistake, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, these people were buying foam and I'd written down the wrong number for the foam. And she's like, they say that it's supposed to be this amount and you wrote down this amount. I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, I wrote it down wrong. Use this number here. It's fine. And I walked away. So a little while later, she called me over. She's like, when I ask a question like that, I think I deserve a little respect with the answer and blah, blah. And I was like, what do you mean respect? She's like, well, you come over and I asked you and you were like, blah, 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 blah. Like, and she's flailing her arms around. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, well, first of all, there was a security call. I'm a little amped up at it. If you didn't like the way I answered, I'm sorry. But like, I was amped up and I didn't know what was going on. And I just wanted to get it over with and get out of there. So I said, yes, that price is right. And she's like, well, whatever. And then she called me later and was like, I don't want you to be angry with me, but like when something like that, and I'm like, I wasn't angry with you, but you have to realize like I'm amped up. If you don't like the way I answered it, it was just that time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I don't remember being all like spastic answering her. So later I was talking and there was another manager standing there and I was like, what was going on there? She's like, yeah, you weren't like that at all. You just said like, use this price. It's fine. And then you walked away. And I was like, I fucking knew it. This woman's just crazy. So she's been a bit of a weirdo though, since we hired her. But so now she's gone. I'm just like, all right, fine, good. See you later. So just because of a mask.
People,
Yes.
let's have a heart to heart here.
Let's heart to heart it here.
Wear your damn mask.
Yeah, it's easy.
Wear your damn mask
my
and keep
God.
6 feet away.
It's easy.
All you guys who are not wearing your damn masks
my God.
and just having parties every day, you're making it worse.
Oh, jeez.
We could have been over this. We could have been done.
Yep.
But you guys are just continuing to push the limit and getting...
It's easy to wear the mask. I got to wear the mask at work every day.
Don't. Whatever Trump does, don't do it.
Oh, my God. Don't say that. You're not allowed to criticize the Orange Menace. He's cured. I read it today.
Cured.
I read it. He was cured. He's got no corona in him. He's not going to infect any of these guys at the White House. Perfect.
The White House is already infected. It's too late.
How is he? He's a, like 80-year-old man.
I know.
He should be in bed.
He should.
He's going to kill himself here.
He's on the
Like,
campaign
what an
trail.
idiot. I mean, I don't want him to be president, but like, come on, buddy. Like, I know you're an idiot, but like, don't be that big of an idiot. I know you think you know everything, but seriously. So, anyways, yeah, that's the story of the crazy woman at work, and I'm not going to miss her. So,
Good.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, that's the end of this story.
All right.
Bye-bye.